Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. We are here live ahead of Game Week 35, and what an interesting week it seems to be. Let me just readjust that so it looks all good and dandy. There it is. Boom. Yeah, we're back. Obviously, FPL. It's been about a week, I think, since the last deadline, since I last spoke to you guys. But we are back here. Get your questions in ahead of this week's obviously deadline. Who are you captaining as well is going to be the big debate for this game week. As you can see, I've currently got it on Bruno. I don't know if that's going to remain. It's so tight this week. It really, really is tight this game week. We're either going to have Bruno Fernandes or we are going to have Erling Haaland as our captain for this game week. But yeah, like I said, extremely tight. Let me know which way you are leaning in the poll. I imagine more will probably go towards Haaland, but it will be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see. Yeah. Been waiting for this one. Bruno G. Yeah, Bruno G came in last game week. We bought in Bruno G last game week. Sorry, I have just finished work. And I'm just drinking my my protein shake, which is my lunch for the day. So yeah, a little bit kind of on a different scale today. I might need to shut my curtain. I forgot to shut my curtain, so there's a bit of light coming in, which might be affecting the camera, like zooming in and out a little bit, so focusing on other people and stuff like that. But we're all good. So yeah, I think the big decision for us this game week is, number one, do we sell Cunha for Cherky? That is the move that I've got pretty much planned in my head, is Cunha for Cherky, give me free City ahead of the double game week. That makes the most sense. And then I guess the other decision is captaincy. Do we go Bruno captain or do we go Erling Haaland captain? That's kind of where I'm at in terms of this game week. Will Bruno want it more than Haaland? I don't necessarily believe that's the case. I think both players have got plenty to play for, haven't they, ultimately? You know, it's a rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United. He's chasing down that assist record. So, yeah, there's definitely something to play for him there. Haaland, on the other hand, chasing down, still, you know, has to hold on to the golden boot, chasing down the title. Still lots to play for both players. Abby's in the chat, one of our cartel, well, not even a cartel member anymore. Our first admin of the FPL cartel. If you want to come and get yourself involved in that, there is a link. It's the pinned comment. There's also one in the description as well. That is where we will be doing team ratings as well going further forward. So yeah, that is the place to come and get in. And Abby obviously is one of our valued members. She says, afternoon, everyone. I've got to leave for an exam in an hour and a half, so we'll be here for a little bit. Love that, Abby. Best of luck with your exam today. But yeah, best of luck with that. What's going off with this stream? It's like 4 seconds behind on my laptop for some reason. There we go. Baller's in here. Says, hi, Tom. Disley ever after. Nice. He says, Saw rotation risk. Yeah, definitely a big Saw rotation risk. Best wildcard draft. I have a wildcard draft available that was built by the model, which I'll be able to get up at some point. Ben has said, hi, mate. Could I get my team checked? For you, Ben, of course, mate. Of course. Let's go ahead and take a look at that for you, my friend. Let's head over to the Discord group and get the team rated. Right. Has it been sent in, mate? Send it in. Send it in for us. Send it in for us. By the way, this is obviously the FPL Cartel Discord group. This is our exclusive group. Can't speak today. And yeah, get your team sent in here for review if you're already an existing member, and anybody that is a new member as well. Like I said, link is in the pinned comment or down in the description if you want to get yourself involved with that. But yeah, send it in, Ben. And of course, mate, we'll take a look for you. Hi, Tom. Is it worth to keep Palmer? If not, who should I replace him with? Gibbs White, Rice, or Rodgers? The thing with Gibbs White, I'm a little bit concerned that maybe Forest give him reduced minutes. Because, again, they're 1-0 up, heading into that second leg. They might want him fully fresh and available for that one. So that would be, like, problem number one that would be definitely crossing my mind a little bit. I think as well, you could hold on to Palmer. Like, it's not a bad fixture this game week. It really isn't. I think I probably would be maybe tempted to hold on to Palmer. It also then gives you the ability to see if Saka's minutes are going to be all right as well, because he could be a nice player for the end of the run with Arsenal's good fixtures. So that could be the swap that you do go for. Still tempted to do Anderson to Gross or Hinchelwood. again, Elliot Anderson is fine. Like, I don't think he's going to be a player that you massively need to sell off, like, instantly, is he? Like, he will just tick along every single week. Start 2, Coyote, Van Heck, Cucurella. Who's that other one? Palmer? I think you go Cucurella and Palmer, right? They're the two you go for, realistically. And if you don't fancy the Chelsea defence, because they have been a little bit leaky, Van Heck is completely fine for defensive contributions as well. Saka or Eze for the rest of the game week. I'm guessing you mean rest of the season. Again, it's going to be quite a bit dicey with minutes around Champions League this week and probably next week. I think I would maybe want Saka because we saw, obviously, you know, he will have some penalty share still when Gyökeres goes off early. So probably Saka would be the one I'd want to go for. Hi, Tom. On a bench boost this week with Bijol, risk it or make a transfer to Strout to be 100% safe. You probably want to maybe risk it. Yeah. It's kind of one of those, isn't it, where what do you feel like the value of that transfer is? I feel like Leeds have still got some good fixtures afterwards, so Strauch is still going to be a decent long-term investment anyway. So yeah, I probably actually would do it. Yeah, go for it. Jamie's in the chat. Hope he's doing well this week. He says every fixture is bad for Palmer. The Palmer propaganda must stop. There we go. Yeah, Jamie absolutely despises Cole Palmer, by the way. Absolutely despises him. Stuck team in the Discord. Cool. No worries, mate. Let me go and check. Let's have a goosey at this. So this is Ben's team for this game week. He said, who would you bench? 1 free transfer and 6 mil in the bank. Oh, mate. Okay. You've got some options here, haven't you? I think the front line is perfect. The defense as well, really good. Like, I'm not seeing an immediate transfer. Like, I'm genuinely not seeing an immediate transfer. I think you probably swap out, like, Tavernier for maybe, like, a Saar next game week. That's potentially where you could go. Like, Tavernier for me or Enzo feel like the weak points in this side. So those would probably be the two names that I realistically would be looking to maybe swap out, would be the Enzo or Tavernier. Now, I think you've got some interesting routes you could realistically go down with this. You've got no Arsenal in this side. No Gabriel either. So it could be a case of you go Senesi up to Gabriel. That's definitely a possibility with this side. You could go Tavernier to maybe like a Rice and Eze, potentially, if you feel like his minutes are going to be decent. That's probably where my head would be at with this one, mate. I think Gabriel's got to be in this side. So I probably would go Senesi to Gabriel. And then next week, you can either go Tavernier or Hill up to like a Crystal Palace defender. That's probably where my head would be at with that one. Yeah, I think you need Gabriel, and he probably would be the player I would be looking to go and get in this game week. So yeah, that's the advice I would pass on for you there, mate. Like I said, guys, if you do want to get yourself involved, all team ratings will be done in the FPL cartel. And there is the link for it. There it is. So yeah, thank you, Ben, for sending your side. If you're already an existing member, get them in as well. And the Discord has a free trial as well. Of course it does. 7-day free trial if you want to come and get yourself involved in that. We've got my model, which, you know, is going through some automation points at some point. Oh, Bruno is a very good shout as well. No Bruno could be big this week. He's top on the model. I didn't see there was no Bruno. My apologies, mate. Maybe a -4, potentially. Like a Bruno and a Gabriel. Could you afford that? That could put you in a pretty good stead for the rest of the season. Rodgers or Ndai to start. I think you go Rodgers, right? With Villa losing that first leg, it probably means that they're still going to have to go fairly full strength in the Premier League round these games, because if they do go out, that's one of their routes to Champions League football closed off, so it will then be progressing through the league. So they need to still probably pick up, you know, some wins on the board here to get themselves in a position where they're still going to be, you know, vying for Champions League places. What do you think about Enzo Lafia as a 2-week punt? I think again, he's all right. He's all right. Maybe with the Wolves fixture really does stand out. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it, but I don't know if I love it. Saka or Gyökeres? I think Gyök will probably start. I can't guarantee Saka starts, but I would rather have Saka for some reason in my head. I think there are just plenty of better strikers within the game, realistically, that I would want ahead of Gyökeres. You know, Haaland, Thiago, Bowen, all above him. Probably Dominic Calvert-Lewin given the Leeds fixtures, and especially this week's fixture. João Pedro as well with this week's fixture. There, you know what I mean? You've got a good 5 strikers already ahead of Gyökeres. So Yeah, for me personally, not. Rooting for Forest in the Europa League. I hope they do it. It would be cool. It would be cool. Like Forest. I mean, if we got like three, like, you know, English clubs, Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League all winning it, that could be big. That could be big. Yeah, Gibbs White could be a dicey one this week. He could be a bit dicey. He definitely could be a little bit dicey. His minutes could be a bit skew if, to say the least. They really could. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know, do let me know ahead of the deadline. Like I said, we're here all the way till probably about like 4, half 4-ish. We'll be reviewing teams, answering your questions. So yeah, get them in. Will Saka start? Again, that's one we're going to have to wait and see. We should get the jump the wave predictions either before I finish up streaming, and if we don't, we will then look at I'll post them in the Discord or go and check them out yourself. We'll have a look at the FPL Meerkat ones, see what predicted lineups we've got as well for those. I think it will be Sobo. I genuinely think it will be Szoboszlai that will take the next penalty. Maybe I could be wrong on that one, but I think it will be Szoboszlai. Who am I thinking for 36, 37, 38? He's in my team. He's in my team. He's in this team. He's in this team. Look at those fixtures. Brighton, Forest, West Ham, and Fulham. Bear in mind, the Forest game next weekend is going to be after that Europa League game where they maybe have rotated. West Ham's a massive game as well. Fulham on the final day. That could just be two teams playing with nothing to play for. And Bruno could be a fun pick. Yeah, I really do like Bruno Guimaraes. Like, I know he's not probably going to get pushed by like all the models and whatever, but he's my models pick and I like him. So yeah. Hi, Tom. 2 free transfers, Semenyo to Turkey. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. It does feel quite luxury. So for me personally, I'm probably not feeling it. Thanks, mate. So Anderson and Rodgers start and die on the bench. That's probably the way I would go with that one, yes. Whom to start? Mook, Chow, Gabriel, Hill, Porro, playing a free defense. I definitely would go with Mook. I definitely would go with Gabriel. And I think I probably would go with Hill. A rotated Palace maybe after a European game. I think I probably would go with that. He can hit those defensive contributions as well. So yeah, that's probably where my head would be at. Yeah, Bruno G's points per game, by the way, is mental. Let me have a look what he's got for this season. He's like one of the top players for it. So yeah, he's averaging 5.48 points per game, by the way. How about Palmer to Bruno G? Again, I don't hate it. I don't know if it would be like the ideal move I would probably recommend to people, but it's one to maybe think about. Do I think Sarr starts? I don't think Sarr starts. I really don't, unfortunately. This is why we sold him off last week for Bruno Guimaraes, because I was a little bit unsure if he was going to start last week. But yeah, there we are. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Palmer's pretty... I'm looking at my own model here. Palmer's predicted points are still okay. So I don't necessarily think he's going to be like an immediate sell. But yeah, the predicted points are still fine. Like, they're definitely like okay. So yeah, another one to maybe consider if you can get away with benching someone this week. Harry Wilson. Like, the fixtures for Fulham, pretty decent. Yeah, they're not too bad. Bruno G pending. I hope so. I hope so. If Bruno G scores this week, I'll do Palmer to him next. Fair. I want to bring in Cherky. Who do I get rid of? Rice or Gordon? Gordon, there's going to be a late call made on him. So he's probably the one that I would maybe say, like, there's a bit of a doubt. And if you want to get Cherky in, Gordon is probably the one I would go for. I am not locked in with the Bruno Fernandes captain for now. We'll see. We'll take a look. I'm still on Wilson, but I'm looking to move him on. I think I would really reconsider it. You look at the fixtures, so don't look at this week, but look at the week after, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna stick with him. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline, I am here to help you guys out. Hey, Tom, should I sell João Pedro for DCL? No. It's a good fixture for Chelsea this week. DCL looked good in the cup. I mean, Thiago, João Pedro looked good in the cup, so yeah, I wouldn't do anything. Who should I bench? Tav, Matoma, or Van Heck? Probably Matoma. Like, I feel like Tavernier and Van Heck definitely play. I can't guarantee the same thing, really. We've had a super chat. Thank you very much. My team is Roofs, Gahey, Gabriel, Hill, Eze, Bruno Fernandes, KDH, Morgan Gibbs White, Thiago, Haaland captain, Watkins, bench, Szoboszlai, Van Heck, Chow. Is this any good? I would rather play Szoboszlai than KDH this week, for me personally. Yeah, I personally would go for that. How about Anton Stack as a replacement for Gomez? Anton Stack, by the way, if he is fit and available, another points per game beast. Absolute beast. Yeah, he's an absolute beast. But yeah, the team looks good. I would just swap KDH for Szoboszlai this week, and I think you're good to go. Thank you very much for the donation, man. Really do appreciate it. Gordon or Bruno G. I mean, with Gordon being a little bit of a doubt for this fixture, I think you go for Bruno G. Saar to Bruno G and Semenyo to Cherki. The second one does feel a little bit luxury. So yeah, it does feel a little bit luxury there. Hey Tom, who to start? Tavernier versus Hill versus Senesi. I probably would. I think for me it would probably be like Hill would probably be top because he's the one that really hits those defensive contributions consistently. Then I'll probably go Senesi. Then probably Tavernier here was realistically where I would be. Yeah, I mean, Gabriel is third, I think, on the model this week for projected points. So yeah, we can take a look at that. Let's head over to the model. Actually, let me bring up the model. Where is it? Here it is. Right. So these are the top points for this game week. Then, like I said, if you want to come and get yourself involved in the FPL cartel, this is the place to come and do it. Obviously, you get full access to this spreadsheet, the models, and it's going through some improvements. We've been doing some stuff with AI, and I've got it cooking. Ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, who knows where we could end this? This could end up real. But yeah, these are the top players for game week 35. Then, so we got Bruno obviously top, but not by much. And that's kind of the case on a lot of other models as well. Haaland in second. Gabriel in third. Someone just mentioned it. Bruno Guimaraes. Thiago. Stack. People are looking at Stack. The model absolutely loves him, by the way. And think he's going to do very, very well this game week. Again, it is all dependent. Like, there is a doubt around his fitness. So don't, fully send in on him. Bowen, João Pedro. Some people have been asking me, should I sell João Pedro? Absolutely not. Rice. And then you can also see Semenyo. You can't see Cherki on there. But again, this model is based off points per game. Semenyo has been pretty decent from that metric. So yeah, there we go. Like I said, if you want to come and get yourself involved in the FPL cartel, feel free to do so. Gabriel just seems safe with his clean sheet odds and the fixtures they have. Yeah, Gabriel, like I said, is probably going to do all right this game week. Would I back it myself? Probably not. I probably will go... yeah, probably will go elsewhere. Like I said, I'm also eating my lunch at the moment. Well, drinking my lunch. Yeah, maybe you bench Tavernier then. Yeah, maybe you bench Tavernier. Thanks, mate. And Buemo, Bruno F, Semenyo, Dango, Wilson. Whom to start? By the way, 2 free transfers. Maybe any suggestions? Dango could be the one that maybe you want to move on for like an Everton midfielder potentially next game week. Because I think realistically you play... I would be tempted to move Brian and Buemo on. I realistically would. Depends how many City you've got. I think you probably already got triple City. But yeah, I probably would be a little bit tempted to maybe move Brian and Buemo on. I'd then probably also be tempted to maybe move Dango on. Those would be the 2 that I would be tempted to move on. Wilson has good fixtures after this game week. So yeah, and Buemo and Dango are probably the 2 that I would be a little bit tempted by. Would you change anyone from Haaland, Gyökeres, and Watkins? No, I think you probably leave those 3. Like, they've all got, decent fixtures. I expect them all to play or at least start this game week. So yeah, that's probably where I'd go with that one. If you're enjoying today's stream, by the way, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. It is really appreciated. Make sure you're hitting subscribe as well. We're on that road to 30,000 subscribers. and it'd be great if we could hit there. Best three Palace defenders: Munoz, Lacroix, and then you kind of got like Richards or Canvot, whichever way you want to really swing it. Stack did come on in the FA Cup. Yep, he did. But again, are they gonna just throw him straight back in? I think they will because he's a very good player, but there is some doubts around that. Yeah. What transfer should I do? I would be tempted, even with the double next game week, to maybe move Saar on. Like, I would be benching him at least this game week. Otherwise, you could just roll with that midfield. Rice, Bruno, Semenyo, Anderson is a good midfield to have. Like, I probably would be happy to roll that through. Yeah, very happy to roll that through. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know, do let me know in the chat. We're obviously here to help you guys out, get the best rank possible for this game week, and mainly get some big, juicy green arrows. That's the aim anyway, isn't it? That's always the aim. Get some big, juicy green arrows. Or at least that's my aim anyway. I don't know about you guys. I have 2 free transfers. Should I do Senesi to Gabriel? Yeah. Yeah, I would. I don't think it was comfortable. Like, it's only still a 2-game margin. I think there will be a little bit of rotation. Start Petrovic or Verbergen? I think I'd go Petrovic. Hi, Tom. Is it okay to start a back 5 next game week? Thiago and Pedro have difficult away games. I don't mind a back 5. Like, genuinely, this season, you could very easily roll out a back 5 with DEFCON. Leeds defense or Palace defense? I mean, for this week, I'd rather play my Leeds defenders than my Palace defenders. Juicy green arrows. We love a juicy green arrow. Rodgers or Gibbs White? Ooh. I'm a little bit concerned about Gibbs White. I think he starts the game, and he's in form, isn't he? And he's playing for his place on the World Cup plane. I've said this in all the videos this week. But maybe there is going to be a bit of rotation there. Maybe there is. Maybe there's going to be some reduced minutes. So maybe Rodgers, just because he plays the full 90. There are some good fixtures as well if, like, Villa go out next week, game week. I'm 5 points ahead in my mini league. Well, hopefully, man, you can get there. Best alternative for Szoboszlai. I mean, I wouldn't be tempted to get rid of Szoboszlai if I was you personally, but we can have a look at some players if you would like. Yeah, we can have a look at some players. People are asking me, where's Calvert-Lewin? I obviously went with a different strategy, and that is my front three. I mean, I really don't mind having that front three, to be honest. Like, yeah, Calvert-Lewin might be a miss for tonight's game, and if he goes big, that will probably hurt me a little bit. But if he doesn't, and Bowen and Thiago get cooking, whoa. Jamie says, I've had 2 stonking weeks in a row. Now I get to use a wild card this week and bench boost next game week, hoping to get into the top 50k. Well done, Jamie. Fair play, man. Smashing it this season. Great stuff. No, I'm not selling Bowen. I'm genuinely not selling Bowen for DCL. Bowen is so good. Genuinely so good and has so many things going for him that, yeah, I wouldn't even consider selling him. I really wouldn't. Top midfielders then that I would be looking to buy this game week. Obviously, any City ones, Semenyo, Cherky, they're going to be very much on the radar. Bruno Guimaraes is my kind of pick this game week. My model absolutely loves him. Declan Rice, Cherky, we just said. Saka, if you think he's going to be fit and available. I don't mind the Everton midfielders after this game week. So, again, maybe want to potentially look at longer term. Harry Wilson as well after this game week. Pascal Gross isn't terrible. Gibbs White, again, if you think the rotation is going to be fine, then go for it. Stack could be a naughty one for this game week. Rodgers, I don't mind either. And then Szoboszlai. Casemiro, man. Casemiro could also be a pretty decent shout in the midfield. Defcom goals from set plays, decent points per game. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. We had a question about Villa's minutes, and I think Villa's minutes will actually be all right. Rodgers around European games as well has been pretty much just consistently playing like very good minutes anyway. So I imagine that might be kind of, you know, the same play anyway. But Villa, if they think like they obviously their aim is Champions League football, get into Champions League football, it opens doors up, it gives us money, all that jazz, right? So they've got two ways of getting in there. One is through league position, one is through winning the Europa League. Now, the fact that they're 1-0 down probably means to me that they're probably going to have to go, yeah, we're going to have to maybe this game week still go fairly strong to get the win against Spurs, get the points on the board, and still have that other route to go down. So, yeah, I think there'll be a lot less rotated than we're expecting. Palace, on the other hand, probably going to be more rotated. Definitely so. Definitely so. Right, that's lunch done. That's lunch done. Keep the questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know. Ha. Yeah, Bowen's unreal, isn't he? Bowen is just the GOAT. He is the GOAT this season. What do I think about James Justin? Fine, yeah. Not a bad player. His minutes should be all right, given some of the injuries that Leeds have got. Do we think as well, maybe that could have an influence on tonight's game? Like, Leeds have a few defensive injuries. Scott Parker's gone. Maybe this new manager just goes, let's enjoy ourselves, play a bit of free-flowing football, lads. Yeah. When did I wildcard? I wildcarded in game week 32. I went for like an alternative strategy. So yeah. Palace will be more rotated because the league doesn't matter for them. Like I just said, Villa need to get like Champions League football. That is their ultimate aim for this season. They've got two ways of doing it. One is through winning the Europa League. The other is through Premier League placing. So now the fact that they're 1-0 down, they're probably going, right, we can't rotate as much because we need that Premier League placing to still potentially be our backup or even our main option of getting us in if we go out to Forest in the next game. Palace, on the other hand, nothing to play for in the league. They're fine, they're safe, they're in the Premier League for next season. They want to get European football. That is their only way of doing it, is by winning this competition. So they're going to just rotate and rest players to get, like I said, a fully fit squad for Thursday night, get themselves comfortably through into the final. The Premier League is not their concern right now. European football for them and progression for next season is their main priority. So everything outside of that takes a back seat, and they will rotate. We've already seen it. Quite a bit of rotation already. Starts 2 of Senesi, Hill, Tavernier. I would either be tempted to go for the double up in terms of defense, or maybe just Hill and Tavernier. Yeah. I wouldn't shock me if we see maybe some defenders rotate a bit this week. We haven't seen that yet, and it wouldn't shock me if it happens. Like a Munoz maybe gets some time off, or a Richards or whatever. Somebody maybe gets some minutes off. Terry, you've got to wake up earlier on a day to catch me out, haven't you? You've got to get up earlier. You've got to get up earlier. You've got to get up earlier than that one. Nice try, though. Nice try, but yeah. Got a 5k red arrow last Monday due to a bonus points change from the weekend. Took me out of the top 100k for the first time since game week 21. Bit of a stinger, that one, mate, but plenty of weeks still to play. Plenty of time to get yourself back in there as well. Who is the best long-term defender in mid? I think anyone from Arsenal, given their good projected numbers. City with a double, so O'Reilly's definitely going to make it in there. The mids, we've kind of whittled them off, haven't we? Bruno Fernandes, Rice, Bruno Guimaraes, Cherky, Semenyo. These are probably going to be the good long-term midfielders. Szoboszlai, I like the look of as well. Maybe a Casemiro. Like, they're probably the ones. I would go with Bowen ahead of Tavernier for me personally. Yeah, Bowen ahead of Tavernier. Bowen, like I'm always gonna suggest Bowen, by the way. Bowen is the GOAT of the game and has to be in everybody's side. He's unreal, is Jarrod Bowen. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline? Obviously, we're here to help you guys out. No worries. Yeah, defo Bowen. I think people in the chat are agreeing with my my statement. Bowen is just the one, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah. Bowen is unbelievable. This is why I want West Ham to stay within the Premier League, by the way. I want Spurs to go down because I love Bowen. Like, I want to have him available for selection next year when he's back as a mid as well, by the way, because he won't be a forward again. He'll be back as a midfielder. Like, he's just going to be the goated pick, isn't he? Afternoon, Tom. DCL or Pascal Gross? I would go with DCL on that one, my friend. DCL all the way. We're currently sat on 20 likes, by the way, guys. If you do enjoy today's stream or any of the content that you see on the channel, please hit that like button. Like I said, let's see if we can get this stream up to 50 likes nice and early. Try and push things, best as we can. Let's see where we can get to, all right? Let's see where we can get to. When does the Saka punt become acceptable? I think when he starts a game, then we've got enough to probably go for. Yeah, it's the only reason I want him to stay up is because of Jarrod Bowen. Everything else, I couldn't care. Like, I don't care about the fans. I don't care about the stadium, whatever. I don't care. I really don't. Maguire could be a great differential. Unreal shout there from Terry. Yeah, every set piece on Monday night was just aimed at his head, wasn't it? It was like, oh, there's Maguire. There's Maguire. Hit Defcon as well. Like, he could be a really nice defensive shout. I like that suggestion, Terry. Feeling it. Should I use a free transfer on a Leeds player? I mean, they've got good fixtures for now till the end of the season. It's a good game tonight. Why not? Why not? Depends who you're looking at, mate. Depends who you are looking at. Strauch is okay. Yeah, he's fine. Hill or Virgil van Dijk? I probably would go with Hill. Is it good to move Hill to O'Reilly? Don't mind that at all. You've got the double next week for City. Yeah, good fixture. And as I've said in a few videos and streams and stuff like that, O'Reilly is genuinely probably one of like the most unreal points potential players ever because of where he ends up for the side. So yeah, I really do like it. Thank you for everybody that hit that like button, by the way. We've got a load of likes in then. So like I said, if we can keep that going, get us up to 50 likes, that would be greatly appreciated as always. Another super chat. Gone for Casemiro instead of Bruno G. I also don't mind that. He is a player, though, that you will just be expecting probably more of those defensive contributions from, but that's been scoring exceptionally well this season rather than Bruno G. Also, he hasn't really scored too much in terms of open play, but still a pretty nice option. Do I like cheese? As I'm vegan, not really. Chow Cherky. We've got people in the chat. DCL okay for captain? Personally, probably not for me. Personally, probably not for me. I think there are just far better captains to consider this game week. In my personal opinion, I just think there are better captains to consider. If he spams again, he'll be gone. If he spams again, we'll get him gone. All right. You have a good mic to do a mukbang. I mean, this is one of the best mics you can get. It's the Shure. Like, everyone pretty much uses it, like a lot of the content creators and stuff. So yeah, it's like the go-to mic across the industry. So yeah, people have got like, I imagine someone's done a mukbang with this mic. Somewhere, someone's done a mukbang with this mic. They just have. Stack, if you think he's going to play tonight, could be a good choice. Yes. It could be a good choice. Fair enough. Yes, I am planning on a bench boost in game week 36. We will be going with bench boost. So the plan is we're going to go with Cunha to Cherky, I think, today. Pretty much locked. It's kind of like 95%. That's probably the move I'm going to make. Cherky then goes in for Anderson. And then we captain either Bruno or Haaland. That's the big debate then we've got to have with ourselves. Then, obviously, moving into next week, we'll want to get some Palace players in there. So it'll probably be like Alderete to like a Munoz or something like that. Or it will be Delo to like a, another one as well. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Then look to bench boost. We might even take a -4, get all the Palace defenders in, really try and attack the game week. But yeah. Do you know FPL Fwayan? Is that how you pronounce it? FPL Fwayan? I have no idea. Let me have a look. I don't know who he is, but do you mean FPL Ryan or FPL Fran? Like, I don't know which one you're going for because nothing comes up when I put FPL Ryan in. I haven't made my transfers yet. FPL Ryan. No, I've never spoke to Ryan. I've seen his content on TikTok before. Yeah, but I'll go and check him out. Saka or Dewsbury Hall? I mean, I'd rather start Saka this game week, but Dewsbury Hall afterwards could be a very, very nice option to go for. Yeah, we'll definitely be playing Cherky. Cherky will come in ahead of Anderson. Yeah. Cherky will definitely come in ahead of Anderson. Yeah, like I said, my model is really bullish on Bruno Guimaraes for this game week. And if Gordon misses out, that also means that he'll have penalty share as well. So yeah, that's what I would be considering. Why aren't I on TikTok Live? I used to do TikTok Lives as well as this. But unfortunately, TikTok Live, like if you speak the wrong thing, like I'm quite jokey on here. I like to, if people come in here sometimes and say rude things about me, I'll be like kind of, jokey about it. I wouldn't be a dick back to people, but I'll have a laugh with people. TikTok doesn't like that. Unless you are probably like the most PC person in the world and be like, oh yes, good. Yeah. Then unfortunately, it doesn't like that. Cheers, Terry, man. Appreciate that. We've had a few teams sent in for review then over on the FPL Cartel. If you want to come and get yourself involved with it, obviously, you get your team reviewed right now. That's one of the main perks. But there's so much more that goes with it. We've got a really good group in there right now. I think there's like 50 people in there at the moment. All very, very good, very engaged managers, helping each other out as well. Not only do you get my advice, you've got people that have like won fantasy games in there, people that have also got like really, really good historical ranks also in there, helping you out, providing your team news, providing you information. We've got my model, team reviews throughout the week. Obviously, me and Tom put a podcast together as well, and the questions from that podcast then determine kind of, where things are going to end up for the show and stuff like that. So you can have an influence, obviously, what topics you want us to talk about, what questions you want to talk about. Like I said, there's so much going off in there. Yeah, it's really worth coming and checking out. Like I said, 7 days free trial. If you don't like it, you can leave. Right, let's head back to the Discord then, see what we've had in. Like I said, we've had a few sent in already. So thank you very much for all our existing members. Really do appreciate all you guys. And yeah, thank you for sending your teams in. So let's take a look at some of these then. I'm chasing rank and trying to close the gap in my mini league. I'm thinking about getting DCL for the Burnley fixture, maybe even cap. And then the upcoming fixtures over Bowen, because Thiago has better fixtures up until game week 38, where I'll bring Bowen back. But also thinking about bringing in either Bruno, Gordon, or Saka, or just get Saka in game week 37 and get Cherky over Semenyo for the double game week then next. A lot of interesting thoughts there. Right. For me personally, I don't know if I would be wanting to sell Jared Bowen. Like, you're probably asking the wrong person, but I would not sell Jared Bowen. He's so consistent on penalties. Look, I get the Leeds fixtures appealing tonight. Burnley, great fixture. I would still probably want Jared Bowen and Thiago as my front two, though. So I personally would be looking more in that midfield. And I think you could maybe, like I said, probably Saar could be a bit of a problem this game week. And again, might not be a player you want to have for the double game week either, if you think rotation is going to be a little bit dicey. I think your team is already in a pretty good shape for this game week. You play Mook, Gabriel, O'Reilly. Then you play Bruno, Anderson, Semenyo, Cunha, and then have that as your front three. I think that is a perfectly fine team. And if you wanted to swap Cunha out, you could look to go to like a Rice, a Szoboszlai, any of these other midfielders. But I personally think, look, don't go a little bit too crazy this week. You could maybe roll, then you can make that luxury move next week for Semenyo to Cherky, because you'll have the transfers in the bank. So personally for me, I think I would be tempted just to sit on my hands. I think it's a pretty good team. I genuinely think it's a pretty good team. And I don't think I would be swapping Bowen to go for DCL. Not in my personal opinion anyway. FPL Bruno 65 says, I have one free transfer. I think I looked at this team earlier in the chat. And I pretty much said to you, I probably would be looking to maybe roll. Wilson and Garner, good fixtures after this, so probably wouldn't want to look to take them out. Again, maybe Anderson, but again, the fixtures are pretty fairly okay for Fulham. I think you obviously are down a City player. And if you could go Anderson up to O'Reilly, that could be interesting. The other move could be Verge to O'Reilly. That's probably the only thing I would maybe do with this side. If you've got the money, Anderson up. If you haven't, Verge up. Verge down, actually, to O'Reilly. Those probably be the moves that I would do. It's your boy, 065, so 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Should I replace Goodmanson with anyone as injured for a few weeks? Again, I think you're perfectly fine for this game, but you've not got to get a bench boost off. I think you can just stash him on the bench. You will genuinely be fine with that team. That's a pretty good team for this game week. I would roll that. I'd roll to 3. Hi, Tom. What do you think about my wildcard team? I'm planning on bringing in Cavott for Hill next game week. Nice. I really like Eze as a potential explosive differential pick, but I'm really unsure about his minutes. Could take him out for Sobo or Bruno G. If I do go with Eze, then I could bench him for this game week just to be safe. I still got bench boost and TC left. I looked at a bench boost 37 into considering when making this team. Fair enough, yeah. Probably bench boost 37. Triple captain Haaland is going to be the play. What we got? Gibbs White, Eze. Yeah, it's a good midfield, isn't it? It is a good midfield. I guess it is the case of, do you want to go for a minute? This is the thing. Game week 37 and that Burnley fixture could be massive. I really do like this as a team. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Eze, but I think for a short-term end of season punt, he could be a really explosive guy. So yeah, I would be tempted to go with that. I think it's a pretty nice wildcard team, isn't it? Hits what you need for 37 as well. You've obviously got, you know, 3 City, 1 Palace, so you're not overly like reliant on them for the double. Haaland triple captain next week. Yeah, it's a good team. Good team, and I like the wildcard plan that you've got here, man. It looks good. Again, if you're not feeling Eze, I think the options that you've listed there, Sober and Bruno G, also very, very good options. But if you wanted to, you know, stick with Eze and be that's your explosive guy for this run-in, I understand it as well. Cool. Thank you for everybody that has sent in their teams. Really do appreciate it, guys. Yeah, really do appreciate it. What chips do I have left? I have got the bench boost left. That's all we've got. And we'll be looking to get it off in game week 37. So yeah, these are the ones. We can do some predicted lineup stuff if that's what you guys want to look at from FPL Meerkat. We can go and have a look at those. We don't have the jump the wave ones yet, but we can go and look at the Meerkat ones if you want. Bam, 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 bam. We're approaching 50 likes, by the way, on today's stream. So if you're enjoying it, hit that like button. Yes, you want to go and see the FPL Meerkat ones. Okie dokie. Let me get them up for you, and we'll run through them. FPL Meerkat. There he is. Make sure to go and follow Charlie as well. Make sure to go and follow Charlie. Always doing good stuff. So here's the Arsenal predicted lineup for this game week then. Gokeres, Saka, interestingly in there. We'll have to wait and see on the jump the wave ones for that. Aston Villa, Watkins, Rodgers. Like I said, Villa still need to win games in the Premier League to get back into Champions League football, if especially that European route is going to close itself down. So I still think Rodgers and Watkins start. Bournemouth, I know a lot of people have Bournemouth players at the moment. Senesi and Hill in there. Tavernier's in there. Scott's in there. Krupi is also expected to start as well. Brentford, yeah, are we shocked? Just typical Brentford side, isn't it, really? Brighton, Hinshelwood, Pascal Gross, Matoma. Someone had Matoma asking me about that earlier. Is in this predicted lineup. Again, we'll wait for the jump the wave ones. Van Heck and Welbeck. Burnley. I don't think anyone's got any Burnley players, but there's Burnley's. Chelsea, João Pedro, Enzo Palmer. Yeah, no real shocks there. Palace, again, here's where the Palace one comes in. Strand Larson ahead of Mateta. Johnson in ahead of Sarr. The backline still looks pretty unchanged, but it wouldn't shock me if maybe one of those misses out as well. Everton, Dewsbury Hall's in there for people that are considering him. And Dye, Garner, Keane, Tarkowski. Yep. Fulham, Wilson, probably the big one there. This is the Leeds one. I think we've had a few questions about Leeds and Bijol. He is in this one. But he has got a little bit of a question mark around him. So, again, we're going to have to wait and see what information we've got. I have some friends who are Leeds fans, so I will ask them. They gave me a really good source for the wildcard week. So, I'll ask them who that source is again. And, yeah, try and find out some information. Again, I'm not it's not inside information. It's a Twitter account. It's all publicly available. I'm not trying to deceive you or anything like that. But Stack's in there. Rodon, Strauch, Justin, Bogle, Ampadu, Calvert-Lewin. All your big boys are pretty much in there. Liverpool, Frimpong at right wing. Could be an explosive differential for the next few weeks. Verge, Canate, Sob, Isak. Yeah. City, we've got Chirk, we've got Haaland, we've got Semenyo, we've got Doku, O'Reilly in midfield. United, no Cunha. No Cunha as of yet. Newcastle, Bruno G, no Anthony Gordon in this one, which would be great for me because it means Bruno G is on penalties. Forest, Wood, Gibbs White is there. Elliot Anderson is there as well. Spurs, I doubt anybody's got any Spurs players. I think someone had Ped Porro earlier, but that's about it. Sunderland, Lafitte, someone mentioned. Xhaka, Alderete, Ballard, Mook, all your pretty standard boys. West Ham, Tati, Pablo, Bowen. Yeah, it's pretty standard. And then there's Wolves. If anybody's got any Wolves players, I doubt it. I do doubt it. No worries, man. Glad we could help. What rank am I currently? Crap. Like, genuinely crap this season. Like 220, 230, like rubbish. Had a really... I think there's been like a few mistakes I've made, but we did the FPL Copilot, like where it tells you how unlucky or lucky you've been. I was like in the unlucky bit. The Solio one as well was like, these are my expected. Here's my predicted. So like there's a massive drop between the two of them. So I think it's kind of a case of I've made some poor decisions and I know I have. And also factoring in that there's also been a little bit of unlucky side to it. Like, and we're always going to get that in games like this. You can't get everything 100% right, but it is what it is. Maybe O'Reilly could be an explosive one. Personally, for me, I probably would be looking at either Bruno or Haaland, but again, up to you. Up to you. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline, I am here to help you guys out. It's what we do. It's what we do. Post my rank time. Huh? What do you mean by that? Am I planning a transfer today? Yes. Our move is going to be Cunha for Cherki is the move that we're going to do. Cunha for Cherki and then play Cherki ahead of Anderson. That's it. Nothing exciting. Nothing obviously spectacular. You know, we could look at Semenyo, like they're the two. So, yeah. But I'm just feeling Cherki a little bit more at the moment, so we're going to go with that one. Bowen or Dango this week? Bowen all the way. Bruno G is a good shout. TC in on a wild card. Saka out. You could transfer him in. People asking me why I've picked Bruno Guimaraes. My model absolutely loves him. He's going to be on penalties if Gordon's out again. Takes set pieces, takes free kicks, can hit defensive contributions. Is a beast at home, by the way. Has blanked twice at home this season. Oh, your ranks. Yeah, get your ranks in the chat, guys. Let's see where everybody is this season. Yeah, that's a good rank. Not bad. Yeah, decent for a first season, mate. Decent. Get them ranks in, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, mate, Bowen. I've got a soft spot for Bowen. I really do. Krupi or Welbeck? I think I'd go Krupi, you know. Yeah, I think I'd go Krupi, but it is tight, man. It is tight. $12.4K. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Welbeck, a good diff on the wild card. I don't actually mind that. While the games are going to be quite spread out, you imagine Welbeck's probably going to play all the minutes. Again, even Newcastle this week is not the worst fixture in the world. So, yeah. Bournemouth on not doubling. No, that dream's dead. So it was all based off what was going to happen with City's fixture. City could have had the game against Bournemouth brought forward and the one against Palace put into 37. That was what was going to happen. But what they've actually done is instead put that fixture, the Palace fixture, in 36, so the Bournemouth game doesn't have to move. There you go. Can smell the lemon curd on your breath. Oh, mate. Yeah, that comment's through me. Some nice ranks going in the chat, guys. Some absolutely lovely ranks going in the chat. So fair play to everybody. Absolutely having great seasons by the look of it. Yeah, some definitely engaged. And I think we're at that point in the season, aren't we, realistically, where, a lot of the people that are now watching content are people that are engaged. Very much engaged. Very much have good ranks. Are people that are enjoying playing the game, aren't they? Not to say that there won't be someone in this chat that's maybe got like a 1 mil rank. No, the Palace fixture needed rearranging anyway. So the Palace game was from the blank that they had to make in the Carabao Cup. So that week, we're City blanked. Hey man, we'll get you better next season. We'll get you better next season. First season's always about learning the process, understanding the game, understanding the rules a little bit. Second season will get you cooking. Love a bit of lemon curd. Mate, lemon curd is absolutely on fire, innit? Mate, you're still better ranked than me, so I don't think you're doing too bad. Like I said, there's elements of luck to this game as well. So it's all one of those, isn't it? Oh, a jam one's good. I think I prefer the jam ones, Yeah, I'm probably more of the jam ones. No. 17k for Joseph, very nice, mate. I still think Welbeck's minutes will be fine. Like the games now are just at the weekend, aren't they? There's no like midweek ones. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think his minutes should be okay. I think Munoz, because of the double, you probably keep him, and the defense has been, like I said, pretty rotation free at the moment, but that could very easily change. Yes, we do. We've got the betting data here from Rob T. I think it's this one. It is. There it is. So this is from Rob T, a very valuable member of the FPL community. This is the projected goals and clean sheet numbers heading into this game week. As you can see, City top in the charts with the best projected goals. Leeds in second, so good if you've obviously got the Leeds players for tonight. Decent clean sheet numbers as well. In terms of Arsenal as well, they've also got some all right goals. People asking me about selling Palmer and João Pedro. I think with 1.86, probably would keep them for another week. Bournemouth as well, pretty good projected goal numbers. So any of the attackers, 35% chance of a clean sheet as well. So bodes well for some of the defenders, the Hills, the Senessis of the world as well. So yeah, some good games this week. Some very interesting games as well. Would you start Darlow over Verbergen? Yeah, I would with that 43% chance of a clean sheet there. What Brighton are at 23. Yeah, that's 20% difference. It's not like a couple points where you can maybe give or take. That's a big chunk, 20%. So yeah, I 100% would. Hi Tom, bench and dilemma. I personally wouldn't bench Semenyo there. I would rather back the side with the better projected goals there. So yeah, I personally would do that. Where's the thing? There's the thing. 0 Leeds players on a wild card, risky. Could be risky. Could be risky. They've got some nice fixtures to end the season. I think, DCL is probably a good budget forward. They've got plenty of great cheap defenders to maybe think about as well. If you really wanted to, Darlow in goal for this game week could also be a decent one. Probably not. Like the aim for engaged managers, Like, everyone's aim is realistically a top 100k finish. Top, like, 250, I think with, like, models now and stuff like that, is still pretty good going. So for, like, I would say for just a normal manager that enjoys playing the game, like, a top 250k finish is very good. Because you're gonna have in there people that don't even, like, bother with teams. They just whip out, like, a model and that's it. They let that run and they don't think about it. So I think for first season players, like, trying to get in that top 500k, more engaged managers, then trying to get in the top 250, even more like you're watching content, you're looking at models, you're taking all that information in. Probably like a top 100k finish is what you want to be getting. Anything past the top 100k, you're having a great year, in my opinion. He always gets random injuries, so probably not. No. DCL or Welbeck for the wild card this week. I probably would still go with DCL given Leeds' strong projected goals numbers for this week. That is probably where my head would still be at with that one. I probably would go either Nkape or Saliba on that one. Thank you for the donation, mate. If you want to ask me a question, then feel free to. Captain O'Reilly. Probably not for me. I would probably rather captain Erling Haaland. But each to their own, isn't it? Saliba or a Leeds defender on the wild card. I probably would still go. Probably would go Saliba. Probably go Saliba. What about this wild card team? I'm not the biggest fan of Watkins. Not the biggest fan of him. But other than that, the team looks fairly decent. Just not the biggest fan of Watkins. Thiago cap for me, says someone. Nice. Yeah, I think West Ham have got a pretty poor record of conceding against forwards, so could be a good one. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Obviously, we'll be live for like another 2 hours or so. Just chatting away to you guys, helping you with your teams and stuff like that. No worries, man. Thank you very much for the donation. Really do appreciate it. Igor hates Zeus any good? I'd rather have Chris Wood. Chris Wood takes all the penalties and stuff like that. Okafor's just put on his Instagram a graphic. Maybe that suggests he's going to play tonight. Mateus Cunha has returned to training this week, but remains a doubt. That's probably enough for me then to go, yeah, make the move to Turkey. By the way, Calvert-Lewin's like second for projected goal numbers. Who's going down, West Ham or Spurs? Spurs all the way, baby. Spurs all the way. I would go with triple captain for Haaland next week. And then I would go with a bench boost in... Yeah, I'd go with a bench boost then in game week 37. Yeah. Saka or Saliba? I would go... I think I'd go Saliba, you know. As boring as it might sound, I probably would go Saliba. Yeah. Looking at the poll for captaincy for this week, a lot of you are going with Haaland, which is... Yeah. We're probably going to end up going Haaland, but yeah. Who do I support? I support Mansfield Town, who play in League One. So nothing exciting there. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I don't like any... Well, I like Brentford in the Prem, but I like if they win or lose, it doesn't affect me. So yeah, Mansfield are my team. Like I said, we play in League One. We've had a pretty good season, good FA Cup run. Played Arsenal back in March, which was very good. Obviously enjoyed that. Got a match worn shirt, which you can see on the TikToks, is like behind this green screen here. So yeah. Do I hold Gordon or sell for Eze? I probably would sell him. I like the move, sell Laffy and then Hill up to Gabriel. That's a nice move. That is a nice move. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Doing Palmer to KDH in game week 36 and Hill to Saliba in 37. Yep, also good. Welbeck in or bench, depends what the rest of your team looks like. I think we're like 11th, I want to say. I think we're 11th. Yeah, I think we're like 11th. Something like that. Best option, 6.1 million under midfielder. Ooh. I really like, obviously, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, Wilson after this game week as well. Anton Stack. Yeah, Anton Stack could also be a pretty good one. Golden has said, who should I captain this week? Mate, we're having the same debate. I think I'm probably gonna go Haaland, but Bruno G is a bit. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is a bit saucy, isn't he? Yeah. 67% on my poll are going Haaland. I think I'm probably gonna go with them. We'll get the coin out. We'll have a flip of the coin, and that'll decide it for us ultimately. But yeah, big decision to be made, mate. Big decision to be made. I don't mind Welbeck. I don't mind him, but I don't think he's out special. Casemiro, yeah, I always forget about Casemiro. The armband is on the Norwegian meat shield. You love to see it, mate. You love to see it. Wildcard 35, bench boost 36 for Bergen plus Saar or Henderson and Hinchelwood. I probably would go Henderson, Hinchelwood, just because I know Henderson's probably going to play both games. And then I probably would go... I prefer Bruno G, but again, it's up to your own personal preference, isn't it? Yeah, up to your own personal preference. I think with that Cunha news, I think we're pretty much like settled on the move we're going to do this game week. So we're going to do Cunha to Turkey. That's going to be the move we're going to do. Bench Anderson, and that will be our team for this week, which I'm happy with. I think the team looks good. I do think the team looks good. I'm quite happy with it. Cool, man. We'll take a look, man. Have you sent it into the thingy? Because I haven't had a notification through. Senesi or Scott already starting Hill. I mean, if you really want to back the double clean sheet, then maybe go double defense, potentially. Apparently, like, they're going to make a late call on Anthony Gordon, so again, couldn't really say. I think you could bench boost with... I think you'd be fine just bench boosting with Chow, potentially. That's something you could just do, just bench boost with Chow. Rodgers or not Rodgers on a wild card. I personally would probably be no Rodgers on a wild card, but obviously it's up to your interpretations, whatever you want to do. Bruno G is a differential. He is indeed. He is indeed. Any Palace picks for next week? The attackers is going to be fun to decide. I think if like some of the attackers come off early, you know, like a Saw or maybe like a Mateta, then that could be fun. But if not, then we're probably just going to be looking at the defenders. My highest rank was last season. It was 8K. What I'd do to be back in those times, eh? What I would do, eh? To get a lovely 8K finish. I have Van Eyck on my bench boost, so having two defenders playing each other doesn't seem great, or does it? I mean, if it's a 0-0, you're absolutely laughing. Both of those guys, though, could hit defensive contributions. They could get 4 each and both concede. Tips on how to finish higher in rank this week from 1 mil rank. So you want to just get your rank up, right? So it's kind of, you can't do it in just 1 week. You've got to do it over like a period of time. Like it's consistent. It can't be, you know, like, oh, this week I want to, like, you know, for me, I want to go like 1 mil to whatever. It's got to be done over like time and built very slowly. And the way that you do that is, number one, pick the players that get, like, this is the dumbest thing ever, but pick the players that get points. Like, looking at points per game has really helped me to identify those players that just turn up every single week. Having the key captains as well. So making sure you've got like a Bruno Fernandes, a Haaland, you know, the players that are going to be captain material over the next few weeks. They're the players that I would always recommend having in your sides. I wouldn't go different for the sake of going different either. I'd highly avoid that. Like, there's no point being just different for the sake of being different. Like, unless something you believe is really undervalued, which in my opinion, I think Bruno G is slightly undervalued at the moment, given the fixtures, given his historical points per game, given the fact that he might be on penalties again, set piece share. I think that's an undervalued pick. But everyone else in this side is picked because they turn up, they get points on a consistent basis, and are very regularly doing that. So yeah, that's probably how you're going to jump in terms of rank, putting those bits together. Depends. Like, we're running out of time to use your transfer, so my best advice would be go on something like FPL.team or Solio or whatever. Go through your teams in the next few weeks. See how many like transfers you probably are going to need to bring in certain players that you want over the next few weeks. If you get in there by game week 38 and you're going, I've got a surplus of transfers, make the move this week. If not, then go, right, I've got to be a little bit more restrictive to get these players in further down the line than I would like, so I'm going to hold it. Words on Okafor. So Okafor has just posted on his Instagram like a match day graphic. That suggests probably that he should be maybe playing tonight. He is good. The minutes are a bit dicey, though. Around like the 60, 70th is where he's coming off. But very, very explosive. Looks like we've had a few more teams sent in for review. So we will go and take a look at some of those. Thank you, like I said, guys, yet again, for getting your team sent into the FPL Cartel Discord. There it is. I think we did this team earlier, and I think I said roll. I think that was my advice, was roll, right? Yeah, I think that was genuinely my advice, was roll. I really don't see another move I would be making. It probably would be Verge to O'Reilly, I think was the exact move I said. So I'm going to type it in case you can't hear me or you're not watching. Oh, no, you spell O'Reilly. How do you spell it? Is it E? E. There you go. That's your move for the week. Done. There we go. Like I said, if you want to come and get your team reviewed by me, there is the link. Hey, Jamie. Hope you're doing good, man. Oh, Ampadu was unreal. What a pickup. What a pickup. And what we've started doing now... Actually, let me see if I can get... I might be able to get into this cupboard. 1 second. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So, what we've started doing to kind of commemorate good FPL picks is I have basically been... Well, I started getting into card collecting a little bit. Buying some some Mansfield cards, which are here. So they had like the EFL Eternity ones, So we've got some cool like 1 of 5s and stuff like that. But what we decided to do was to commemorate like good FPL players that I've had down the years, get some like cards. Like I've not spent loads on this, by the way. These cards I'm picking up for like £1 off Vinted. So, you know, it's just a nice way to commemorate it. A little bit of decoration in the room and stuff like that. So first up, whoa, we've got a John Aries. Now, it's a Club World Cup edition, Prism to 49. The reason that we got this is if you play Club World Cup Fantasy, you know I was big on John Aries, and he scored an absolutely sensational free kick in one of the games. So we got that. It was like £1. So yeah, very nice. We've got last season's absolute gem, Johan Visser, with bit of kit in there as well. Ethan Ampadu to 50 from the other week. If you didn't know, on my free hit, I went Ethan Ampadu. He got a last-minute assist, so we had to go and get an Ethan Ampadu card. Because of the Ethan Ampadu card, I needed to make like a bundle deal with someone, so I picked up a Nico Riley rookie card. I mean, he's going to be a good FPL pick, so we might get some memories out of him. And then finally, we've got a Brian Mbeumo. Like, if you've been around the channel long enough, you know, like, Brian Mbeumo, like, he's one of those picks, again, that I've always ended up with. So we've got a Brian Mbeumo, like, bit of kit in there as well, card as well. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing with, like, some of the FPL picks and stuff, like, that go well. So, like, if Bruno G absolutely smashes me from now to the end of the season, gets me a top 100k, don't be shocked if we pick up, like, a Bruno G card. But like I said, I'm not spending loads on these things. Like, they're like £1, £2 on Vinted. Just a little bit of like a fun way to go, oh yeah, I remember that pick back in the day. Like that's my way of doing it. And gives me a little bit of decoration as well for like my bedroom and stuff. So I've got like a unit, and I've got like some different cards as well. Like, so we've got all the Mansfield ones on there at the moment. So yeah, it's just fun way to just decorate my room a little bit up. All right. Hi Tom, still got wildcard and bench boost. If that was when you would play it, I would play my wildcard this week, bench boost next week. Hi Tom, I have both the wildcard and free hit available. Which one should I go for? Ooh, that's a difficult one. I would be maybe tempted. I'd be maybe tempted to like free hit next week. Like, if your team's good for this week, fine, get through it. Free hit next game week, so you can bring in whatever Palace assets you want. Then wildcard for the final 3 games. That could be a fun way to play it. I enjoyed Justin on the bench boosting 33. That's what I mean. Like, you go and pick up like just a cheap James Justin card. Just a fun bit, innit? Just a fun little thing. We do have a Bowen coming, by the way, because the amount of memories I've made with Bowen over the years, yeah, unreal, untold. Who would you start, Hill, Bijol, or Tavernier? Probably Hill or Tavernier. Bijol, a little bit of a doubt heading into this fixture. So probably would be enough for me, probably not to consider going with him. I think Gordon could be a doubt. You asked me this question a little bit earlier, and I said, yeah, I probably would. I'd like the Lafie and Hill move. I really do. Yeah, that's probably the one I would go for. I don't think Ray is essential, but I feel having 2 Arsenal defenders is probably going to be my play over a lot of people for the next few weeks, especially those that went on the wildcard 32 strategy. They won't have like a, you know, double Arsenal defense, for example. So that is my edge over those guys, is stuff like that. Watkins might only play like reduced minutes though. He might play like 30, 40 minutes or something like that. No, he won't play 34. He'll probably play about 60, 70, I reckon, for Watkins. You're all good, man. You're all good. You are all good. We've had another team sent in for review, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Again, thank you very much for everybody that's sending their teams in. If you want to obviously get your teams in. I've seen comments preferring Hill over Zanesi. Yeah, I'm probably in the same camp. Again, it's very close on the predicted points between these two. It's so tight. It really, really is so tight which one you go for. Hill has been the more consistent in recent weeks at hitting those defensive contributions. So I probably would be tempted to maybe go with Hill ahead of Senesi, but it's honestly a coin flip. Both of them could do exceptionally well this week. But other than that, I think the team's good. The team is good for this game week, man. Ampadu, there he is. There's Ampadu as well. I have free transfers at the moment. Should I wildcard now or on the double game week deadline? Depends when you got. Have you got a bench boost? You got any other chips left? Let me know. Let me know. Is the second Manchester United mids any good? Bruno and Casemiro. I like both of those guys. Defcon for Casemiro. I mean, he's mainly scoring from set plays, but his points per game are just unreal, aren't they? Munoz over Gab for the double game week, then move Gab into game week. I think that's just too much moving. I think Gabriel is still going to be fine for the double game week anyway. Wildcard is the only chip left. Then, yeah, you might as well wait one more week if you can get through this week. Ha! His points per game have always been good, but I was just like, he only scores from set pieces, and he did again. Like, that's the only reason he's scoring, but it's kind of one of these DEFCON picks, isn't it, where they go for it. I'd start Bowen. Yeah, I'd start Bowen. You got a guy there with penalties, good fixture, DEFCON. I know Dewsbury Hall's been great in the recent weeks, but I still think you go for that. Good bit of water, that, my friend. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the FPL deadline, do let me know. Let's see if we can get today's stream up to 100 likes. That'd be great. I don't think that's worth a -4, in my opinion, no. Not worth the -4. Definitely not. Absolutely not. No worries, guys. No worries. Anything you want to help with, like I said, do get yourself in there. I'll try and help as many of you out as I possibly can. Captain Bruno or Haaland? I'm currently on Bruno, but I'm probably going to end up on Haaland. My model has Bruno top for this game week, but let's wait and see. Would you take a hit for a Palace defender? No, I probably wouldn't. Is it worth get Cherky for Mbuemo for a -4? Probably not. Points per game, mate. Points per game. I mean, he's been crap. I picked him up last week, and he has been just terrible, hasn't he? He didn't even hit DEFCON. Yeah, he's just been, like, mediocre at best. Last time he hit above 8 was here, but yeah, it's been pretty mediocre, hasn't it, really? Yeah, we need some more from Declan Rice. We definitely need some more. We need a goal or something. I'm good, man. How are you? I'm good, man. Hope you're doing well. Fair enough, Jamie. Fair enough. I think a lot, if you look at a lot of the models, they're suggesting Haaland this game week. And I feel like that is where most people will end up anyway. They'll end up on Haaland. Have I done any chips? Nope. I've got my bench boost next week. But yeah, I've got not played any chips this game week. If your bench boost is good for this week, game week 37 is also a very nice week to play the bench boost. There's some good fixtures in there. Otherwise, yeah. If you want to put it in the in my stream section, Marcus, that'd be much appreciated, my friend. Yeah, if you want to put it in the actual like deadline bit, that just helps me find them a little bit easier. So yeah, that would really help me out. Thank you. I was looking at Bruno G. Bruno G's not bad. Like, my model absolutely loves him. Could have penalties as well this week. Go him over Rodgers in my wild card. Again, they're both playing to ultimately get on the plane for the World Cup. They're both playing number one for Premier League survival, then obviously European football potentially for Aston Villa. They're both not bad picks. Genuinely, they're both not bad picks to end the season. I probably feel like if Forest are going to score, though, Morgan Gibbs-White or Chris Wood at the moment is going to have some sort of involvement in that. Aston Villa, I'm just not feeling Rodgers. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Maybe it's because I've been burnt by him this season, but both players, like, they can have spells where they are massively frustrating because they have nothing else going for them. So yeah, that's kind of the frustrating aspect of it, isn't it, really? Palmer to Gibbs-White and bench Van Heck / Senesi. I think you could roll it. I genuinely think you could roll it. Chelsea got pretty decent projected numbers this week. Palmer's predicted points are also not that bad. Start Dubravka or Verbergen. I think you go Verbergen. Double Bournemouth defense with Hill and Senesi versus yeah, I also don't mind that. Jamie's keeping Rodgers on the wild card. Nice. What are your thoughts on double City defense for double game week? I think you probably want Semenyo or Cherki are probably going to be the ones that everyone has in midfield. If you think that the double defense is going to do better, then please feel free to go for it. Marcus has just put his team in the Discord. Let's go ahead and take a look at that for him. Like I said, guys, if you want to get your team reviewed by me, head over to the FPL Cartel Discord and, yeah, get your team sent in. So thank you very much, Marcus. Really do appreciate it. He says, who to bench or who to transfer, please? 2 free transfers. 0.7 million. Oh, it's a fine team for this week, my man. It really, this is the problem with it. Well, not the problem. The good thing about this wildcard in 32 is this team looks good. Team genuinely looks good for this week. I think you could get that out very easily this week. I really do. I'm genuinely struggling to see who I'd play. Like, yeah, I think I genuinely think it's a good team. If you wanted to take Palmer out, you probably do look to move him on to, like, you know, a Bruno, a Szoboszlai maybe, a Casemiro. But I think Palmer for this week against Forest is going to be just fine. Yeah, I personally would roll. I genuinely would roll, Marcus. I think the team is fine. Made 0 changes and on 3 FTs. Okay, who've we got in here? So you've got no O'Reilly. So that's probably where I would maybe be looking. If you've got the budget, have you put your budget in here? I don't think you have. If you've got the budget to go Konza to O'Reilly, 100% would do that. If you've got the budget to do Chow to O'Reilly, probably would do that. Virgil to O'Reilly, would look at maybe doing that. I think that is probably the spot I would look at. Either that, or you completely skip out on O'Reilly and maybe go like Gordon to Cherki. If you don't feel like the City defense is going to keep cleans over the next few, I think O'Reilly just has to be in there for me personally. So yeah, I probably would be looking to get rid of Verge, Chow, or Konza if I've got the budget, and really attack it. What you could also do is maybe drop Gordon down to like a cheaper midfielder. So maybe somebody like a KDH and upgrade Konza to O'Reilly. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. That's also what you could maybe do with that side. Hope that's cleared things up, guys. Hope that clears things up for you. Like I said, if you want to get your team reviewed, head over to the FPL Cartel Discord. Link in the bio, pinned comment, all that jazz. You know the drill. Oh. Rodgers or Bruno G? I mean, I'm speaking from my own bias standpoint. I probably would go Bruno G. Your best 11 for game week 36. I'm on 3.9 million budget on that Chow team. Then there you go. Go Konza straight up to O'Reilly. Done. Boom. Like that. Game week 36, probably Haaland, Cherky, O'Reilly. I probably would still want like triple Arsenal. Or maybe even two, like Raya, Gabriel. Then I probably would want maybe like a couple Palace guys in there, like a Munoz, a Lacroix, maybe one of the attackers if we know that they're going to be pretty decent. What's the fixtures like? What's the fixtures like? Let's have a look. I can't remember who else has all right games next week. Villa have got Burnley, Leeds have got Spurs, Brighton have got Wolves, so definitely some Brighton players in there. Yeah. That's probably where I'd go with that one. Do keep your questions coming in. Keep the likes coming in as well, guys. Like I said, let's see if we can get up to 100. It would be greatly appreciated. Okafor or Palmer? This has been keeping me awake at night. I probably would go Palmer just because he's got penalties and it's always one of those things I like to look for in players. But yeah. The coin can be here to help you, my man, if you need your help. He says, risking a DCL captain. I personally wouldn't. But if you need the help with the coin is here, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. Where has he gone? Actually, the coin isn't here. I don't know where the coin's gone. Seriously, where's the coin gone? Oh my God, I think it's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, the coin has gone. The holy coin has gone missing. It's usually sat on top of my computer. It's gone. Oh my days, it's been nabbed. He's gone. I've lost it. Boys and girls, I've lost the holy coin. I've lost the holy coin. I can't believe it. Would you recommend selling JP to Bowen? Can't afford a luxury transfer. Personally, not for me. I think João Pedro is fine for this game week. Completely fine. No, mate, I can't believe it. The holy coin, gone. Now, there is two coins down here. I don't know if one of them is the OG holy coin, but I'll go and grab it. There is two coins down here, but I can't remember which one's which. Let me grab it. See, I bet you don't get this on other streaming channels, do you? Me grabbing coins off the floor. Right. That is not the holy coin because it's covered in hair. Here she is, sports fans. Here she is. We found her. Don't worry. We found the holy coin. I I will find you the guy who took it. It's all right. We found him. We found him. Gibbs White, Bruno G, Bruno and Cherky. Okay. Senesi to Gabriel, Gomez to Dauman. I don't think I would go for Dauman personally. Saka or Eze, Watkins or Thiago for the wild card. Thiago for me, and then probably Saka. Probably Saka. Yeah. Probably Saka. I probably would want Van Heck. Garner, maybe. Yeah, Van Heck and Garner. No worries, man. No worries, man. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Like I said, the coin is here. If we want to do some coin flips, here we go. Give it a toss for DCL captain. Heads means captain. Okay. Heads is captain then. Tails is not. All right. Heads. Ho, ho, ho. Heads, baby. Get that DCL captain going. The coin has spoken. I personally wouldn't captain Darlow either. No, I wouldn't captain Darlow. But yeah, there you go. There we go, sports fans. Ask the coin by stack or not. All right. Heads as you do, tails as you don't. Heads. It's loving a heads today. Heads you do. Pray for me now. Brother, I'll be watching that game and I'll be thinking, oh my God, he's getting battered. Or, oh my God, what a masterstroke. I want you back in here next week, my man. Get back in here next week and tell me. You got to be telling me like, oh, it worked or, you know, anything like that. This is not the same coin. What do we know about this coin? This is the same coin. It is the same coin. It's just off the floor. Like it must have fell on the floor or something. The coin has spoken. The holy coin, ladies and gentlemen, has spoken. Right, we've had another team sent in for review. We'll look at that. Then we'll do some more coin flips. Okay, guys? So get your dilemmas in. Get your coin flipped decisions in as well. And we'll work through them. Right. Let's go ahead and take a look. Wrong bits. Which one were we on? This one. 433 potential plus 4.8 million in the bank. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I think you're genuinely good, aren't you? No Gabriel. Why are you getting rid of Gabriel? Whoa, 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 whoa. You had Gabriel in here, right? Oh, you haven't got Gabriel in. Oh, Konza to Gabriel. Done. Konza to Gabriel. You could even maybe get rid of Senesi and go like a Saliba, go double Arsenal stack at the back. Or leave the other ones for next week. But yeah, Konza to Gabriel, then have 2 next week to get some doublers in. Do that. Do that, mate. That would be the play I would go for personally. Stack or Okafor? Ask the imposter coin. Stack is going to be heads. Tails is going to be Okafor, okay? Heads! Like, this coin is rigged on heads, by the way. Rigged on heads. It loves it. It just goes, what do you want? Heads? Oh, all right then. No, you never. This is the thing. I always just get replaced by the coin at the end of it. I don't have a job at the end of the day. It's just a coin flipping stuff. Should I -4 for Gabriel? Potentially. Depends who you're doing it for. Bijol apparently has posted a match day graphic. Make of that what you will. Gomez to stack, locked in. Nice. Yep, I made a vid for Game Week 35 wildcard. You can go and check that out. There is a full version or is the short version as well on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts as well. Yep, just how much I back Thiago and how much I despise Watkins, realistically. Captain heads Haaland, tails for Thiago. All right. I mean, heads is landing a lot. Maybe this is the time where it goes, no heads. It's gone tails. It's gone tails. There we go. We'll do the big Bruno versus Haaland one in a second. We'll do that one. We'll big that one up. I'm ranked 20k and thinking of going differential with captain. I personally wouldn't do that. You're in a good position. Let the other players get you those differential gains. For captaincy, everyone around you is probably going to go Haaland. And if he does go off and gets a couple goals or, Bruno, for example, then you're going to really suffer and really fly down the ranks. For me personally, it kind of just feels like you go Haaland or you go Bruno this week. I really like if I was 20k, I would just be going Haaland straight down the middle. Wouldn't overthink it. Yeah, that's where my mind would be at. Like you're gonna get other players that will get you those gains. You don't need to go like mental with the captaincy one as well. How do I join the Discord? If you click the pinned link or this link I'm about to send in the chat, it will take you to our sub launch page. You put all your details in, and then it will grant you access to the Discord. There you go. Thiago captain. I hope it works, man. I hope it works. As a fellow Thiago owner, I really want it to work. I do really want it to work. Palmer to Eze, thoughts? Again, I think you could leave Palmer for one more week. I think you could leave it as well. Potentially, there's still a double game week next week as well. So if you've got chips as well, you might be able to pull it back. Let's hope the coin's not lost its brain on your thought. Mate, the coin has been on fraud watch a bit this season for me. So, yeah. Maybe the coin's got unk status. The coin has got unk status. I think you could roll. I realistically think you could roll. If you wanted to get Gordon out of your side, Casemiro is a fine replacement for him as well. Would I? I've just taken a be real sorry, and that's the face. That's the face I've ended up with. Oh my god. You and I have the same front three. I probably would maybe get rid of one of them for Calvert-Lewin if I was on a wild card this week. That's about it. Start Tav or Enzo. I'd go Tavernier. Yeah, I'd go Tavernier on that one. We're only like 13 likes away from 100, by the way, guys. So if you do enjoy the content that you see on the channel, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Obviously, we're on that road to 30,000 subscribers. I reckon we'll probably hit it around like World Cup fantasy time, which will be a great way to start the new season. So yeah, keep obviously the likes coming in, keep the content coming in as well. Fair enough. If that's the way you feel, then swap Palmer out. Swap Palmer out. I'm just watching back on my laptop, and the stream is so far behind, right? What front three would I have? I think I would have Haaland, Bowen, Calvert-Lewin. That on a wild card, that would be the front three I would have. Yeah, that would be my front three that I would personally go for with that one. Updates on Bijou or Okafor. Haven't had anything concrete, but both have posted like match day graphics on their socials. So maybe that might be enough for you to go for it. I'd go Pedro on that one. Spammer spotted. Cherky for Semenyo or Palmer, the other will stay. I mean, if you want to go for like the triple City attack, which could be a play, then go for it. I personally would not go without Nico O'Reilly, though, in my opinion. But if that's what you want to do, I get it. Captain Calvert-Lewin, Gabriel, O'Reilly. Out of all those, I think I would be more tempted with either Gabriel or O'Reilly. But yeah, it's kind of one of those, isn't it, where I probably would maybe go... Spammer alert, by the way. Please don't spam in the chat. We answered your question. No need to spam. Do get your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline? I'm captaining Haaland this week. Cool. Let me head over to the Discord then, mate. Let me head over to the Discord. I can ignore O'Reilly, go back 3 and replace Gordon with Cherky and stack up my midfield for the double game week. I still think I probably would do this. I personally would probably go O'Reilly and Gabriel. That would be where I would go, mate. Obviously, if you wanted to go Gordon and then bring in Gabriel, that could also be a play. But I think I would rather have O'Reilly, Gabriel. And then that Gordon spot can either be Gordon because the fixtures have still got, decent after this week. Or it could be like a Saar if the minutes are okay. Could be maybe like another Palace midfielder if there's anybody that does emerge. Like there's decent options there in that midfield. Then I think you can go with. Yeah, let's get that guy on mute. He keeps spamming. Let's get him muted. Let's get him out of here. We will answer your questions, guys, but there is no need to spam. So we're putting him on a timeout. There we go. He's on a 5-minute timeout. If he can behave, he can come back. Maybe the TC differential is going to be the play. That might have to be the play, unfortunately for you. Play Welbeck, Tavernier, or Senesi. I would be looking more at the Bournemouth players. Tav or Senesi for me. Questioning myself on why did I bring in Saar and not Mateta? I have a PhD in regretting your own decisions. Mate, tell me about it. Tell me about it. We're only 3 likes off 100 likes on today's stream. So if you are enjoying the content, do make sure to hit that like button. Like I said, it is really appreciated. If obviously we can get today's stream up to 100 likes, it would be great. Yeah, that is the problem. Like the Palace midfielders are just not playing full 90s at all, are they? They're really not. And my camera keeps like unfocusing on me all the time. I think it's because my window's open. So, I've tried to give myself a bit of natural light, but I don't think we're allowed natural light, and I probably should shut it to hopefully help the camera keep focusing on me. I would rather have Thiago. I know Watkins has got the fixtures, but personally for me, he's just not a player I want. Play Mook or João Pedro. Both Chelsea and Sunderland are in kind of bad form. I'd still play. I think I'll probably play João Pedro ahead, but it is Wolves, remember, and Wolves are terrible. Hall and VVD to O'Reilly and Saliba. On top of that, would you bring in Cherky for a -4 for Sobo? I don't necessarily think you need to do the -4 bit, but I like the defender bit you've outlined there. Yeah, I do like the defender bit you've done there. I mean, double game week next week. You can bring in like a Palace player. There's another set of fixtures and double there. That's personally what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would probably go for. But sure for the double texting, but out of two, Welbeck, I probably would go Tav and Senesi if I had to pick two. I really would. I think you could get away with it. I genuinely think you could just roll this week again, get 4, get your Palace boys in for next week. Like I said, we'll be able to see what, because if Palace go like a couple goals up early in that Europa League game, they might like sub off Mateta and Saw, and then they're good to go for the weekend. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's maybe something to monitor. My hair, by the way, is just so long at the moment. It's doing my head in. It's just way too long. Way too long. This mullet has got out of hand. I desperately need a haircut. Because, yeah, this is hot on my head. It is hot on my head. Let me tell you. No worries, man. No worries. Happy to help. That's what we're here for. Happy to help you guys out. Thank you for getting today's stream over 100 likes as well. Really, really appreciated. I know obviously it's a Friday. We're approaching the end of the season. So people obviously do lose a little bit of interest, but all good. Apparently, Bijol's been spotted in training. Just seen Harry tweeted that out. FPL Olympians going for O'Reilly captain. Fair. Yeah, I mean, though, if they go like a couple more, like if they go like 2-0 up in the first half, then that's 5-1 on aggregate. That's like a good enough thing where they'll probably be like, yeah, we're through. Any announcement? When does the World Cup Fantasy start? Yeah, I'll have to have a look back when we got an announcement for Club World Cup Fantasy. But I don't think it'll be too long. Like, it'll probably be end of the month. Like, we've just started May. Yeah, probably end of May. When does the World Cup start? 12th of June, is it? Something like that? Hey, afternoon, Tommy boy. You bugger, Jake. You bugger. Cole and James back for Chelsea. Nice. Maybe that might make them better. When does the World Cup start? Is it the 12th? I want to say it's the 12th. 11th of June. 11th of June. Yeah, I obviously will be making content for it. We will be doing team reviews and stuff like that. I'm trying to get a model going for it. Like, it's going to be a little bit more harder, but I've had a really productive chat today. And yeah, we might have some more improvements coming to my FPL model, and hopefully maybe we can whip something up for the World Cup. I think that would be pretty cool. Again, we'll try and get something out of it. We'll try and get something to work. How well it will work, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What Leeds players can be picked for Burnley today? Free transfer. Maybe like a Justin for the defense. Strauch, Darlow, Calvert-Lewin, Stack. Okafor has put a story up. Yeah, saw that. Same with Bijol. Both have put stories up ahead of today's game. Oh. Play Tavernier or Pedro? I'd probably play João Pedro. Yeah, I probably would play João Pedro. If you do obviously need any help, do let me know. Obviously, the coin is here as well. We can give that a cheeky little flip. If you guys would like a cheeky little flip on the coin, we can get that going. Do I think Aronson starts? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. I haven't seen anything on Aronson, so yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think he starts. I think Aronson starts. Would you buy Gross, Okafor, or Wilson for the next 4 game weeks? Probably be more tempted with Gross and Wilson. Yeah. Would you start Raya or Darlow? I probably would go with. I probably would go with Darlow. Yeah. Who is the worst FPL asset, Balmer or DCL? Would you risk Okafor? I don't know if I'd risk it on a wild card. I don't know if I'd risk it on a wild card. I mean, Salah's out, isn't he? So there's that. That one's gone. We'll do a captaincy coin flip. Let's do one. Let's do one. We've been teasing it. Let's do one. Heads, Haaland. Tails, Bruno Fernandes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the coin has spoken. It has selected Bruno Fernandes as its captain for this game week. If you're a believer in the coin has spoken. Well and truly, the coin has spoken. No worries, Summer. That's what we're here to do. We'll try and, like I said, we'll try and answer as many questions as we always can in these streams. Try and help you guys out as best as we can. I think he'll be in the squad. Whether or not he plays is a different matter, and I wouldn't want to give like a 100%, yeah, I think he's going to play. Why is a wild card so stressful? You always end up questioning it, and then guaranteed the player that you were thinking about all week that you took out maybe like last minute, guarantee they always get a haul as well. It happens every single time. Every single time. Mate, I hope it works out. I'll be thinking about you later watching the game. I'll have the game on and I'll be like, this is the thing. I have no one in tonight's game. So yeah, it's going to be one of those where it's going to be like, I'm just going to hope for a Burnley win, aren't I? I'll be watching it hoping for a Burnley win. I've used the triple captain, used it back on Gabriel in game week 26, mate. That's when I use mine. Some nice 3 p.m. games tomorrow, though. Brentford, West Ham, players. Bruno G, player. But yeah, we'll obviously have a look for the Club World Cup fantasy stuff. Not Club World Cup. The World Cup fantasy, we will be back. We will be making content. There will be deadline streams. There will be the full shebang. Same as last year with the Club World Cup. We will be making fantasy football content out of it. I will be here helping you guys out with videos, with streams. The Discord will still be running as well over the course of the summer. So I've got you covered. I have got you covered, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Could play Justin. Yeah, we do team reviews over on my Discord. I think it was like around 11 months ago. Around 11 months ago. So yeah, I reckon end of May we might get the World Cup one launch. Yeah, it's not an ideal fixture, is it? So that's why I probably said go like DCL because they've got Spurs next week. So if I was on a bench boost, like a wild card, then bench boost, I would be tempted to go Bowen, you know, or you could go Welbeck, Calvert-Lewin, Haaland. They've got nice fixtures to cover off the bench boost next week as well. Something to maybe think about. Yeah, something to maybe think about. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to ask me ahead of the deadline, of course, we are here to help you guys out as best as we possibly can. Give you the advice you need and get you cooking. Don't stop till you get enough. Well, I've got Michael Jackson in my head now. Just Michael Jackson just slapping around in my head. I probably would go Justin, just with some doubts around Bijol this week. Yeah, that's probably where my mind would go. Don't stop till you get enough. You know, I don't stop. I ain't enough. Army. Lost faith in Palmer. Who do I replace him with? I think you could hold him on for one more week. It's a good fixture this week. Otherwise, you are probably looking at maybe like a Bosley, a Bruno G, a Rice, a Cherky, a Semenyo if you've not got those guys already. Those are probably the players you're looking at. A Rodgers, people have been obviously looking at as well this week as well. Yeah, like Michael Jackson's been everywhere, hasn't he? He's been everywhere this week. Don't stop till you get enough. No, I don't do team reviews on Twitter. Like I said, only on Discord is where we do our team reviews. We used to do them on Twitter, but it just got a bit mad. It got really mad, and obviously, Discord is just so much easier to host them. Yeah, it's just a lot easier. Haaland triple cap with a -4 or wild card. You want a triple captain Haaland next week, so wild card this week. Get your team set up. Oh my days! What the hell was that? Get that user on a timeout. Jeez. Yeah, they've been whacked on a mute. Turkey and rice just sounds like a Jamaican takeaway. But remember, guys, please don't spam in the chat. I will try and get around to as many questions as I possibly can, all right, throughout today's deadline stream. There is no need to spam. Chat ain't even that active today. Just ask me the questions. We'll work through them. Who is better, Gibbs White or Sarr for the coming weeks? I can't really comment on Sarr because I think the rotation could be bad in the game. Like, he's not going to play this week, I don't think. He won't start this week. Doubts around the first game in 36 if that game goes like extra time, penalties, whatever. So, yeah. It's kind of one of those. Bowen or Thiago to finish the rest of the season? Mate, it's so tight. I think Bowen's probably got the better fixtures. Like, bar the Arsenal game next week, I think Bowen has the better fixture. Like, Newcastle have been terrible. And if Leeds lose tonight, lose to Spurs, they're right back in this relegation fight. So you could be looking at, that game going down all the way to the wire. But saying that, Thiago, good fixture this week. Palace in 37, who might be done with the league. Liverpool, final day. If there's always weird results on the final day, isn't there? There's always mental results. So you never know. Maybe Brentford could be one of those sides that pull off a mental result at Anfield. Who knows? I probably would go Morgan Gibbs-White ahead of Casemiro this week. Raya or Darlow? Probably go Darlow, given they're both very close. both very close, but I'd probably maybe go Darlow. It's so difficult to say, isn't it? Yeah. Like I said, if Leeds lose tonight, they're right back in this mix. They are right back in this mix. Because if they lose that Spurs game as well, they're on it. They're on it. And Purdue on the team review. Let's have a look. Is that what you said? Is you sending me on Discord? Let's have a look. Oops. Let's have a look. 4 free. I don't know if I'd necessarily go for Ampadu. I don't know if I'd use all free transfers. Because who does Ampadu start ahead of? Because you'd have O'Reilly, Hill, Gabriel. Like, again, like I'd want rid of Konza. I really do. I don't see what he offers. I don't know if I'd do that. For me personally, would rather have this. Like, I'd rather hold on to like a Senesi than a Konza. You've got the money in the bank as well, mate. So you don't need to mess about. Michael Jackson debut. Ow! Can we get the holy coin to speak? Of course we can, mate. Heads is going to be keep Semenyo. Tails is going to be sell him, okay? Heads on the keep. Oh, yeah, I forgot they got Burnley, but still, he still offers nothing, innit? He still offers nothing. Like, he doesn't hit DEFCON, doesn't do anything else. Nah, he just doesn't do anything else. He's got the good fixture, I get that. But outside of that, what does he do? Like, what does he do? Ow! I need to stop doing that now. Shamon. Hit the zone. Can be, yeah. Can be still worth it. Like, Forest still have a lot to play for this season. But if they beat Chelsea, you do feel like, again, maybe their focus fully shifts to the European game. The final is in between game week 37 and game week 38, so he might miss those last 2 games. It is, but then at the same time, if you lose your clean sheet, which is very possible, there's nothing. I mean, if you just need him for 36, fair enough. But at the same time, I'm still in the back of my mind going, well, if he like, for example, if Hill loses his clean sheet, I know I'm still probably going to come away with 4 points from him, as long as he doesn't score an own goal. You know what I mean? So that is why DEFCON is so powerful and why I would still be looking, even if, it's a great fixture, I'd still want that guy that can hit those defensive contributions. Because even if, the case that, like, let's say Burnley win tonight, they look unbelievable. Are you then going to feel as confident about just getting that clean? So, yeah. That's how I feel on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Moonwalk, mate, my legs are as stiff as shit at the moment. I went on my first run in like 2 years. It's not that I've not been doing cardio. I have been doing cardio in the gym, but not been running. So I just did a 5K just straight off the bat, didn't I? Like a lunatic. My body is feeling it bad. It's feeling it bad, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, mate, it's hilarious that his name's Michael Jackson. Hey, bro. Hope you're doing good. Octavius XO, one of our channel members. If you do want to become a channel member, it's 99p. Helps the channel grow a little bit. Ah, okay. Fair. No worries, man. No worries. Best of luck this game week. Best of luck this game week. Shamon. I personally would maybe go Strauch. That's my personal one. But obviously, it's open to interpretation, isn't it? It really is. I mean, fair enough. I mean, Sobbo probably is going to be on penalties, though. That's the thing I would be considering heading into this game week. Thoughts on Okafor and JP for Enzo and DCL? Again, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling either of those. I won't buy Enzo Fernandes. Definitely not. Would not buy Enzo Fernandes. Thoughts on Casemiro? Yeah, he's fine. Like, his points per game have been pretty consistent throughout the course of the season. I just wouldn't be expecting all these goals. Like, a lot of them have come from set plays. So, yeah, do remember that. Do bear that in mind. Nah, I think it will be Szoboszlai. I really do think it will be Szoboszlai. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I think it will be Szoboszlai. Thoughts on Eze as a differential punt over Palmer? Don't mind it. Don't mind it. Would I do it? I don't think I would. Start Gross over Watkins. That's a good fixture this week for both. Probably go Watkins still. Ha. I don't mind that. I personally would keep João Pedro. I think he's fine. I think he's fine. Semi-final 11. Can you have a look? Of course we can, mate. Of course we can. Like I said, guys, if you do want to get your team rated, and hopefully, as you've seen here, you can get your team rated like multiple times, by the way, if you've got anything you are a bit stuck with. Final team he sent in. Looks good, mate. Looks good. Looks good for this game week. Class little looking team. But yeah, if you want to get your team sent in, there, the cartel is the place to come and get it reviewed. Gordon or Welbeck? Welbeck. Tavernier could be an option, but the fixtures, I think you're either gonna go Cherky if you haven't. Maybe like a Casemiro, maybe a Bruno Guimaraes. These kind of options are probably more appealing than that. Semenyo to Cherky move. I think if you've planned out the next few weeks in your head and gone, right, I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, so I feel like, I've got enough transfers here or I've not got enough transfers, then that's going to be the difference. If you've got plenty of transfers in the bank, maybe make that luxury move. If you haven't, then maybe probably hold off. But say if you're in a position where you've got like 4 or 5 transfers, you're thinking, I'm realistically not going to use all these, or I've got enough to get me through the next few weeks to like attack the double in next game week, then I probably would leave it. Bruno for triple captain. Wait next week if you've still got the triple captain left, and go for Erling Haaland. Decision isn't locked in. We're probably going to move back to Haaland. We're going to move to Haaland for captaincy for this week. So we will go with Cunha to Cherky. Cunha to Cherky. And then we will go Haaland with the captaincy armband. Yeah. There you go. We've had another team sent in for reviews. Let's go and have a look at that. Thank you for everybody that's sending their teams in. Really do appreciate it as always. I'm at 500k and want to end the season strong with some good green arrows, but thinking about bringing in Saka and Bruno G for Cunha and Semenyo this week and Cherky for Saar next week. But I won't have the funds, but I really like the free transfers. I like them. The problem is, Saka, we don't know if he's going to play. Cherky to Semenyo does feel quite luxury as well. And finally, you've also not got the budget for it, so probably not going to be a dream. I do like the players you have suggested here, though. But we very easily could be a situation where maybe Saar plays, like I said, if they go a couple goals up at half-time next week, we might see all the first-team Palace players be fine for the weekend. And then maybe you want Saar back in. You know what I mean? So, personally for me, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't do the move you fast. And I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. Should I take a hit to sell Watkins next week if he doesn't start this one? Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see on that one. Because you would be selling him ahead of Burnley, which never feels great, but it also feels like a game where maybe he could be rotated if like that Europa League game goes like all the way. Worth bearing in mind a little bit. Not bad, but again, Bowen. I'm going to say it. Bowen's the guy. Probably would go Tav. Yeah, probably would go Tav. We saw in the game against Wolves, Ampadu just didn't hit DEFCON. And again, if it's a very easy game where Leeds are dominating, he just won't hit the DEFCON. So yeah, bear that in mind. Easier fixtures mean usually that Ampadu doesn't get it. My voice went then. My differential is Hinchelwood. Very nice. No, I don't think it's too risky. Like, again, if they hit DEFCON, Bowen and Calvert-Lewin score goals, which they easily could this week, you're laughing. You're doing all right. You're not doing too bad. You ain't doing too bad, my friend. Put in Krupi Jr. for Thiago. No, leave Thiago this week. Trust me, leave Thiago this week. Leave him. I know he missed some chances against United, but he'll get more against West Ham. He just will. He will get more. Do get your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline? It could be a little bit of a trap. It definitely could be a little bit of a trap. I feel it's quite an underwhelming double. Like, we all probably own City triple up at this point. Like, I'm going to in a minute. I know, obviously, I haven't, but we will be making the move. Cunha for Cherky this week. So, yeah. Oh, do you hear my ear crack then? That was painful. Would you sell Palmer with free transfers or roll? I think you could roll, but again, let me know who you're thinking of potentially looking at. Abby's back. She says, I'm back from my exam, done with uni for the summer now. Very nice. Congratulations, Abby. I think the only things that we've had are Bijou and Okafor have both posted on their Instagrams, like their match day graphics. But again, that could mean anything. That's realistically, I think, all we've had. FPL Harry's questioning Semenyo because he hasn't been pictured in any training. Nothing about his comments. So, yeah, there's some question marks around that, but nobody's really made any more of it. Tom's just sent a link in the chat saying bad news. Uh-oh. What's this going to be? Oh, mate. I'm gone. My lookalike. My lookalike is gone. I can't believe it. Mansfield Town's star. I wouldn't say star, by the way. Aaron Lewis has turned down multiple contract offers to extend his stay at the club and is set to leave as a free agent. He's been in and out of the side. Like, yeah, he's just kind of been in and out of the side, but he is my lookalike because of the mullet and the tash. And my dad at the Burnley game literally poked him on the shoulder and went, "Looky likey." But yeah, gutted he's gone, but yeah, it's not the biggest miss in the world because he wasn't playing games. I thought that was going to be like, oh, Nigel Clough's gone or something. That would have been a big miss. Brighton always give away penalties a lot, do they? We need to have a look at this. Penalties conceded Premier League. I haven't done any Premier League pen data in a while. But when we did, it was like when Brentford kept winning loads of penalties, and I was like, this will continue because they win a lot. Yeah, they actually have. Brighton have conceded 6. That's 6 penalties. Yeah, Brighton have conceded 6 penalties this season. What about last year? Year before 9. What about year before that? I can't even see them on here. 6. Like, they do concede a fair bit. Fair play. Yeah, Brentford definitely do concede quite a few penalties then, by the looks of it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, maybe there's more in that than we're making on it. I think I said it on the pod. I think I said it on the pod, or maybe it was in one of my videos where I did say, like, again, we don't know the full extent. He missed out on the cup, and then nothing was said. Like, was it a rest? Was he just getting some time off? Is he going to be back? That's what we got to look for. Don't have any news on Bijou, unfortunately. Nothing on Bijou. I'll have a look if the Jump the Wave predictions are in. Let's have a look at these. Nothing from the Jump the Wave predictions yet. Probably be about, I reckon, maybe another hour before we get anything. Maybe a bit longer. Yeah, maybe even longer. I'm going Turkey. Yeah, Cunha to Turkey is the move I'm going for this week. So yeah, we're going with that. All right. O'Reilly every day of the week. Yeah, Semenyo not in any of the training picks either. So maybe there could be more into that. Maybe, again, it's kind of just a coincidence. But yeah, definitely maybe worth reading a little bit more into that potentially. Reading a little bit in between the lines. So yeah, we're going with Turkey. Maybe just make sure you've got your bench and benching order sorted out, guys. That could be a key one this week. I'm going Haaland, mate. I'm going Haaland. I think both are sublime captains this week. A lot of the models are saying Haaland, but my model's going with Bruno Fernandes, so make of that what you will. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. B-Jol in the training video Leeds just posted. There we go. He posted his match day graphic as well. Probably a very highly likelihood that he now plays, right? Who'd start from Chow, Gardner, and Van Heck? I genuinely think Van Heck. I really, really do. I think Defcon will be hit. Same with Gardner. I think he'll hit Defcon against City. So yeah, those are probably the two I would be looking at. I'm not the biggest fan of Gyökeres. We saw him again early in the Champions League off, so probably not for me. Is Doku worth the punt if chasing? Again, probably wouldn't look at Doku. Would you start Tavernier, Hill, or Scott, and who would be first bench? I probably would start Tavernier and Hill, and then Scott first bench. Oh, 100% start O'Reilly. You've got to be starting O'Reilly for me. Like I said the other week, he does just feel like one of the most explosive players within the game. So, yeah, for me, I think he's got to be in there. Is Semenyo to Turkey worth it? Again, depends how many transfers you've got lying around. If you've got plenty of transfers and the ability to, just make the move, then go for it. If not, probably worth just holding on to Semenyo with a double next week. That would be my opinion anyway. That would be my opinion, guys. I probably still would start João Pedro there, mate. I probably would. Still probably start João Pedro. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, O'Reilly definitely has that captaincy ability in him as well because of the clean sheet and attacking returns that he can go and get. So yeah, if you want to think about it, it's not a bad option. It's not a terrible option. No worries, man. No worries. No, I'm probably going to be moving to Haaland. We're going to bring in Cherky for Cunha in a second. So yeah, Cunha for Cherky. Start Cherky ahead of Anderson, and then give Haaland the armband. That's probably the moves we're going to make this week. And yeah, we'll go from there. Why are there so many Palmer drafts? Because people picked up Palmer on the wild card in 32, right? So that is why people still have Palmer knocking about in their squads. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, guys, any questions you've got, do get them in. We'll try and answer as many as we can before the deadline. If you want team reviewing as well, make sure you're heading over to the FPL Cartel. That is my exclusive Discord server that I do share with Golden Goal Fantasy Football, who is obviously another well-established name within the community and was live about 10 minutes ago as well. But yeah, there's my model, there's team reviews here, there's team reviews throughout the week. Loads of great stuff. Loads of great stuff. Enzo, Isak, or Dango this week? Ooh. Alderente or Rice start one. Oh. I think I'd back the Sunderland clean, I think I'd go the Sunderland clean. Watch this be like the week though where you do bench Rice and then he gets the returns. It would fully happen, wouldn't it? Worth taking a -4 to swap Semenyo to Cherky, not in my opinion. And Buemo or Rice, probably Rice. Lafille, Troffair, or Gross to field this week. Lafie still on penalties? No, Diarra's on penalties, but I probably still would be tempted to play Lafie given the fixture. Truffert, also a very, very good player. Krupi or Tav? Tav. Would you start Gross or Tav? Tav. And Buemo or Rice? I think I said Rice on that one. So, yeah, that's where my mind will go with that one. Sell Van Dijk to Justin, Strauch, Senesi, Van Heck, or Munoz? Probably be most tempted with Munoz for the double for next week. Otherwise, I think you could probably keep him for this week as well. Casemiro or Rodgers over the next two. If Rodgers plays decent games, probably go Rodgers. Mate, we're getting around to everybody's questions. We're trying to answer as many as possible. Please don't beg in the chat. We are trying to work around people's questions. We're trying to help as many people out as possible. So no need to be rude or be a dick, really. There you go. Swap Dango for Bruno G. Don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. Shall I play João Pedro for either Rayan or Rodgers or DCL, please, Tom? I would probably rather play him ahead of Rayan. Start 2 out of O'Reilly, Semenyo, Tav, O'Reilly and Semenyo. Start 1 out of Tavernier, Hill, Scott. Oh, we did this question. I would probably either go Hill or Tavernier, and then first on the bench would either be Hill or Scott, like depending which way you want to go with that. Start Pedro Porro or Mook. Bring in Cherky or O'Reilly if you only own Haaland, probably O'Reilly. What about O'Reilly as captain? Yeah, we've had a few questions about that. I think you could go for it. Like, he's got that attacking upside. Clean sheet numbers are all right for this game week as well, so it's not the worst idea in the world. Yeah, not the worst idea in the world. I wouldn't take a -4 to do that, no. Start Dubravka or Kelleher? I probably would go Kelleher for me, personally. Yeah, I think they've got the better clean sheet odds, but I could be mistaken on that one. VVD or Van Heck, first bench, because I have Gordon. Probably, I'd go Van Heck. Go Van Heck. Bruno G or Dewsbury Hall on the wild card. Dewsbury Hall's got some good fixtures after this game week, so if you've got, you're going to bench him this week anyway, you could get away with it. Otherwise, Bruno G is good for all four and could have penalties. For someone who rightly pointed out earlier in my chat, Brighton are conceding a lot of penalties at the moment. So maybe worth noting that one as well. I think both are great shouts. Sobo and Guimaraes. Both could be on penalties this week. Both pretty good shouts. I think maybe because Liverpool are in better form, you go with Sobo just because, again, Newcastle have been a bit hit and miss. Like, Bruno is my differential at the moment. He's my models pick for, like, this week as well. Like, really backs him. So, yeah. That's why I've gone with it. But, of course, everybody's open to their own opinions, right? Talking a wild card, again, those Everton fixtures are pretty decent after this game week. So, yeah, if you can get away with maybe benching him this week, then, yeah, could be an all right asset to have. He's just a little bit expensive. Michael Keane is going to play very good minutes. Also pretty good for DEFCON. Michael Keane would definitely be one that I would maybe select. I probably would go with the double defense. I genuinely would. Strauch and Senesi. I'd rather go Hill. I think Hill's just been so consistent at hitting those defensive contributions that I personally would probably go for him. If you're enjoying today's stream, by the way, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button. It does push it out to more people. Let's see if we can get up to 150 likes on today's stream. Keep the questions obviously coming in. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline, we are here to help you guys out as best as we possibly can. We'll try and answer, obviously, like I said, as many questions as I can. But there is a lot, and I will try and get through them. Uh, 220 something? 230? I can't quite remember. Yeah, I can't quite remember where we're at in terms of a rank at the moment. But, you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. No worries, man. We're not captaining Bruno. We are going to captain Haaland. We'll just make our switch. Like, I always make my switch kind of late on before finishing up streams. We'll be going till, I reckon, maybe around 4:30-ish. Probably somewhere in between those is where we'll end up. So do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline, do let me know. I'm here to help you guys out as best as I possibly can. Oh, no. 230k, mate. 230k. If we were 230, it would be... I would plaster that everywhere. Talk or Van Heck on the wildcard. I probably would go Van Heck because you could play him this week. Wolves next week. Good fixtures to end the season. I like that one. Yeah, probably that would be the way for me. I would probably look at that. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know, do let me know. Who do I support? I support Mansfield Town. That is my side. So yeah, there you go. Mansfield Town in League One. Those are the boys that I support. Is it worth Sanchez to Raya with one free transfer or just roll? Just roll. Goalkeeper transfers. Never usually worth it. And it's not a terrible fixture for Forest. I know they've only kept like one clean in 17 or something, but new manager, we might see a more improved defensive unit. Cherky, Bruno, or Casemiro to bring it in, or what? No, I actually despise Forest. Just because I'm from like that area, it doesn't mean I like Forest. Yeah. Do you watch any YouTube content? If so, who are your favorite 2 or 3? Okay. So, Golden Goal, because obviously we have the cartel together. I'm on his channel every single week. Has to be in there. I'm enjoying the stuff that Solio are doing this year. The pods are great. FPL Wire podcast as well is also very good. I kind of occasionally skim through like Harry's stuff. I don't really watch Andy. Yeah, I think that's probably about it. I'm trying to think who I've watched this season. That's probably about it, really, guys. Like, I don't consume as much content as I used to because I don't have the time, unfortunately. Like, running the cartel, like, yeah, it definitely, you know, eats into your time. Like, I've got a full-time job outside of this as well. So I don't get a chance to watch as much content. But yeah, those are probably the guys that I do watch when I have, like, you know, some spare time. Stack or Okafor on the wild card? I'd probably go Stack. Should I buy Gibbs White or Wood? I like Wood, you know. I do like Chris Wood. Penalties. Again, the problem with the Forest players is all the minutes going to be a little bit dicey this week. Maybe. We did a coin flip for captaincy earlier. It did say go Bruno F, sorry. So yeah, maybe one to monitor there. Maybe one to monitor. Oh, like I said, I'm a little bit stiff today. I went on a run and my legs are battering me. Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Maybe you could consider like a double rather than talk. Maybe like a Nkape, a Saliba potentially to have like double Arsenal defense. Maybe one to think about. Maybe one to think about potentially. But again, up to you. Your team, your rules. You go the way you want to do. By Justin or Strauch? Probably Strauch for me. Yeah, probably Strauch. Yeah, I feel like, again, you know, people can consume content in whatever way they want. Ha, mate, once you start creating content, you do like it like you know what I mean? I've got like a full-time job. I work 9 to 5, and then outside of that, I'm at the gym, I'm producing content, or I'm spending time with my partner. So that is my life. Like the only downtime I really have is with my partner, and we'll be watching like football or we'll be out doing something. So yeah, I don't really have time to watch the content, unfortunately. Um, but I know there's plenty of great people in there. Plenty of great people in there. All right, okay, cool. Uber Fire, if you want to put it into my dedicated section, I'll be able to find it like that. There's a bit that says like deadline in the Discord. If you want to put it in there, mate, we'll get it reviewed for you, okay? I can't remember what it's exactly called. I've definitely not escaped the Matrix. Not yet, mate. Not yet. Not yet, my friend. We're still very much deep in the Matrix. Yeah, there's a section in the stream called Deadline. And then there's a bit that says FPL Tom. Please put it in there. That just helps me find them like that. All right. My man. Cheers. Thank you very much, mate. I would go Darlow. I would then go Senesi and Hill ahead of Van Heck for me personally this week. I have Semenyo and Cherky. Is it worth selling one to go O'Reilly? Maybe, but ultimately it depends how many transfers you've got left for you to realistically do that. Buy Senesi or Strauch? Probably Strauch, given the Leeds fixtures. Cool. I've seen that team now. Uberfire, let me go and take a look, mate, for you in our Discord server. Thank you for joining, by the way. I really do appreciate it. He says, thoughts on this wild card. Plan is game week 35, bench Henderson, Anderson, Van Heck, Wilson. Okay. Game week 36, triple captain Haaland, bench Raya, Strauch, Anderson, Thiago. Yeah, makes sense. Game week 37, bench boost planned Rodgers to Saka. Okay. Game week 38, Thiago to Bowen, Saka to Morgan Gibbs White. Yeah, I mean, this is a good detailed plan, man. You've thought about this a lot. Obviously, Anderson and Wilson, they get your bench boost off, so they help you there. Calvert-Lewin for tonight. Enzo's the only one I'm a little bit unsure of. You've got money in the bank. Enzo, I'm not the biggest fan of in terms of the midfielder. That is probably the only one I would be a little bit skeptical of. For me, would rather maybe have a Bruno Guimaraes potentially in there, or like a Rice, or if you could get away with it this week, like a KDH on the bench. Like you could even go Gibbs White right now, like, or a Statch. Like those are probably the midfielders I would maybe have in there ahead of Enzo or Casemiro, even at that extent. Yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of Enzo. I don't really think he offers too much. So he's probably the one, mate, that I think I would maybe be tempted to swap out of this side. Everything else, though, looks really good. He would be the one, though. And you've got the money in the bank. So, there's room for some upgrades there. Room for some upgrades. I think I'd play Strauch on that one, mate. Yeah, I'd definitely play Strauch. Looking at the poll for this week, then, captain is pretty much set on Haaland. Look, most of you are going Haaland. Yeah, why not, mate? Maybe go early. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Enzo. So I think, again, if he scores this week, I apologize, but I'm just not the biggest fan of him personally. So I think there's better midfielder options you can go for. And if you can get Morgan Gibbs White in early, even better. So yeah, that's probably the way I would go with it, mate. I'm going with DCL for my captain. Fair enough. Start Anderson or Mook. I'd go Mook this week. Yeah, I'd go Mook on that one. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Anything you want to know ahead of the deadline, do let me know. We are here to try and help you guys out as best as we can. If you want to continue the conversation, do let me know. Come and chat to me in the FPL Cartel Discord. Just posted the link in the chat. That is where you can come and get your team rated now. Or obviously, I'll be talking to people in the Discord after I finish up streaming today. Model picks are in there as well. There's a model team sheet that you can get done as well. So yeah, plenty going off in the Discord. And yeah, there you go. Will Semenyo play this game week? I think he will. But again, there are rumours circulating. Hasn't been pictured in training. Nothing's been mentioned in press conferences. Wasn't in the FA Cup squad as well. So maybe there is something to that. Yeah, maybe there is something to that. I'd still start Semenyo. I would just have, like I said, if you've got Semenyo on your side, just make sure first off your bench is the right player. Bench order is going to probably be quite key if Semenyo does miss out at any point today. Or whenever they play Monday. So yeah, that's going to be key. That is going to be key. I would probably go Darlow, but again, you very easily could go for that double up in terms of Arsenal, or if that's your only route into Arsenal, then maybe still keep Raya in there. How long have we been going for? All right, we'll go to 4, and then we'll wrap things up. All right, we'll go to 4 o'clock. So get your questions in. And yeah, there we go. We'll go till about 4. Like I said, I'm a little bit. I've done like nearly 3 hours. My voice is giving way a little bit. Yeah, he's eligible. They got rid of the old cup tied thing. That went this year. Like Gahey, for example. They just got rid of it. Start Casemiro or Gibbs White. I think you can't bench Gibbs White in the form, can you? Any news on Okafor? Nothing as of yet. I'll check if we've had the lazy FPL prediction lineups stuff. So have a look. Jump the wave, I mean. No, we haven't. Yeah, make sure to hit that like button as well, guys. It is really appreciated. We're approaching 150. Would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, my voice is on the end of its tether a little bit. Enzo, Charles, Senesi. I would be tempted to put Senesi first ahead of Enzo in that thing. Yeah, my water's empty, mate. My water's empty for today's video. So we'll go and get some in a sec once we wrap up. Don't know, mate. He's posted his graphic. That's all we've got, unfortunately, to go off at the moment. Who is a good captain this week? Realistically, you are probably going to be looking at Haaland and Bruno. They're going to be your captains for this game week. We probably should lock in our moves, by the way. Yeah, probably should lock in our moves. Should we do it? Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Right, we're captaining Haaland. Save that. Transfers, like I said, we're going to go with Cunha to Turkey. Oh, come on. Cunha to Turkey, done. Make the transfer. Bosh. And then swap him there. And that is me locked in, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That is me locked and loaded for this game week. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm pretty happy with that. I genuinely am quite happy with my team. I think it's really good. I know obviously it doesn't look like everybody else's team that has like, you know, like triple Leeds and triple Chelsea and whatever, but I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. Probably around like before the deadline usually. Maybe it'll be a little bit later. If you're in the cartel, I'll post a link in there whenever they get released. But yeah, it'll probably be a little bit earlier. But yeah, that's going to be me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty much locked in. I'm happy with that. Nothing I think I'll change. Like I said, we brought in Turkey this week. Yeah, I think my team looks pretty decent. I'm quite happy with it. I just hope we can get some points and get another green arrow and start working our way up. Like I said, top 100k, not out of the realms of possibility with a chip still left. We need some big hauls though. Like if, you know, we bank on Turkey and Bruno G doing well, that could maybe be the things that really, really push us up this week. So yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully they're the things that really get us there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, I've been going for about 3 hours. We're going to wrap things up. And yeah, we'll leave things there. Obviously, if you want to come and chat to me, we will head. I'll be chatting in the Discord with people as well. And yeah, all good. There you go. We'll be chatting in the Discord, chatting away to you guys. Anything you need help with, come over to the FPL Cartel Discord. But I'm going to leave things there. That is my team, ladies and gentlemen, and the best of luck for FPL Game Week 35.